Stand up, football fans. We are back for another New York Giants call-in show. We're going to be doing this after every Giants game. We'll be doing it the day after the game. New York Giants have concluded. What's going on, New York for life? King Trizzy in the house, QC in the house, Gritty in the house, XDS in the house, Poppy Chulo Chat in the house, Chris Redmond in the house, Chris Sonora in the house. Thank you guys for being here. King Trizzy, what's going on, my man? Mustard Bus, thank you for being here, man. Less than a week away. Thomas the Tank Engine in the house. Brandon Rogers in the house. I know Bobby Woodruff's here. He's always the first one in, last one out. I appreciate Bobby for being here. I'm sure he'll be the first one to call. He always is. We'll open up the phone lines in a second. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. The Giants, of course, coming off a 4-0 preseason. Now, preseason, I'm not going to read too much into, guys. There's been teams that go 4-0, they go 0-16 in the regular season. So I'm not going to get too carried away with that. Jet, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning in into the stream. Caesar Munoz in the house. Dark Demonic in the house. Nice come from behind victory yesterday. That game was basically for the guys like the Alonzo Russells. For the guys trying to make this football team, on the back end of the 53-man roster. And Russell had a great game. Should have had more than that. Horrible throws. Tanny underthrew him on a few routes. Otherwise, he would have had an even better game. I think B.J. Goodson put himself in contention to make this team. And I think Loletta. Is going to make this team. Backup running back will be interesting. I'm sure we'll talk about that. Gallman had a nice run near the goal line. So he kind of stood out a little bit. Perkins was he was pretty good. He had 50 yards. So we'll have to wait and see. But we're going to get the answer tomorrow at, I think it's 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, the roster may come out before that, the roster cuts, but we'll find out sooner than later on who's going to be on this 53-man roster and whether or not the Giants will pick up somebody that was released off another roster. Obviously, Brandon Marshall was the biggest name today. Some people may want him, some people may not. He's up there in age. He's 30, coming off an injury. So I'd like to get people's takes on that. Obviously, we got the Cowboys coming up week 1. Would love to talk about that with you guys. Any NFC East fans in the house, more than welcome to call in, or football fans in general. Can't wait for football to start, guys. Cannot wait for football to start. Dom Marachi in the house. Slick Nick and Batgirl in the house. Thank you for tuning in, Batgirl. Dilly. I'm drinking coffee tonight, Batgirl. I'm trying to stay awake. I worked late tonight. She says Team Moss and the Gun Show. Batgirl likes the Moss. If you guys didn't know that, Batgirl likes. Not taking calls yet, guys. When I post a number, I'll be taking calls. What is going on, Alex Sports? What is going on, Alex Sports? It is good to see you, by the way, Dom Marachi. Dom Marachi's got a great channel over there. A fellow Paisan. Love that guy. Puts in a lot of work. I'm glad that you're back. Football season about to get underway. Goose in the house. Rafael DeLuna in the house. Hitbit in the house. How you doing? John, what's going on, my man? Sean Lee. I like to say hello to everybody for popping in because when people start calling in, I can't pay as much attention to the chat. James, thank you for tuning in. Zach Rosen, thank you for tuning in. You got that, my man. You got that. Hot Take Hockey in the house. Thank you guys for being here. Angel Rodriguez. What's going on, Angel Rodriguez? Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow night, I'm thinking about doing a hangout with you guys. I've had a bunch of my subscribers. Nick, what's up, Nick, man? Thank you for tuning in the stream, buddy. Giants fan 8 in the house. Thank you for tuning in. I've had a bunch of my subscribers, diehard subscribers, ask me to do a hangout. So I've been thinking about doing that where I don't take calls. We just hang out. You guys ask me questions in the chat, whether it be about football, whatever. Oh, Mustard Bus, man. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that, man. He says, absolutely stoked for football. What up, entertainer? Mustard Bus. If you want a good laugh, go on over to Mustard Bus and please sub that guy up. I mean, they make milkshakes out of Slim Jims. What's better than that? And yes, absolutely. Prayers go out to all the people in Florida. Obviously, Jet Central lives there. Dark Demonic lives there. Hopefully everybody's going to be safe there. The hurricane, I know that living on Long Island. Hurricane Sandy was a complete disaster. Didn't have power for 12 days. So, did horrible devastation to New York. So hopefully everybody's safe there in Florida. Hopefully you guys are ready to go. And, hopefully everybody's all right. All right, what's going on, Big Blue Flight? Thank you for tuning into the stream, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for popping in. So we are going to open up the lines, guys. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Phone number is going to be 914-481-3540. Bring your football takes, whatever you want to talk about. This is a Giant show, but I talk broad NFL if you want. All right, first call. You knew who it was going to be. You knew who it was going to be. Bobby,
Hey, Christopher. How
before
you doing, my homeboy?
I'm doing good, Bobby. Before you talk, I want to wish
Yep.
you a happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm 51 yesterday.
You
I'm
don't look
old
a day over
fart.
12. You don't look a day over 12.
Oh, no, 12. I'll take 20. I'll take 20. Let's take 20, okay?
So, Bobby, how you been, Bobby? How you been?
Good. I was happy for the Giants' comeback yesterday.
Yeah, nice
I
comeback. I think
thought
they
we
were
were going to
down
lose
by
that game.
what were they down by? About 19 points or something like that. It was a big
Oh,
deficit.
yeah, they were down pretty good, yeah. I thought they were going to lose that game.
What'd you think of the kid Russell?
Yeah, he's good. He's a good receiver, yes. And that Loretta, too. He throws pretty good.
Well, Led had a hell of a game. I mean, well, not so much with the completion percentage, but 22 of 42 touchdowns. I think Loletta
Yeah.
definitely cemented himself as the third quarterback on the roster. I think Tanny's
But
out.
he puts it right where the receiver should. He like throws it like a, or was it Daniel Jones who throws it like into like a garbage pail?
Daniel
Right
Jones
into the
dropped it
receiver.
right in the bucket on that throw to Golden Tate down the sideline. That was arguably his best throw of the entire preseason. That's how good that throw was.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's getting there. Daniel Jones is going to be good backup.
Yeah, he's been
And
absolutely
also,
fantastic.
first week, the Dallas Cowgirls are going to get mowed over by the Giants.
Okay, Bobby. Now I want to get your take on this. So obviously, now we don't know about Zeke. We don't know if Zeke's
Yeah,
going to be
no,
in.
he's not playing. He won't play until week
Well,
6.
we don't know that. That's hearsay. That's not definite.
Oh, who cares? If he plays, we still run over their asses.
Bobby, I want to get your final score prediction with Zeke and without Zeke. Tell me the final scores.
Okay, with Zeke will be Giants 28, Dallas Cowgirls 17.
Okay.
And without Zeke, the Giants 42. No. 27, 28, still with the 20 points. And 10, 28-10.
So you think we're going to beat them by 18 points if Zeke doesn't play?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, do you think the Giants are just that good, or do you think the Cowboys are being overrated?
I think they overrated this year. I think, the quarterback's going to have a lousy year this year. He stinks.
Interesting.
He's not going to throw that good this year. You think so? He can't throw. I think what's his name throws better than him. Daniel Jones throws better than him.
Well, Dak Prescott, when he has the pieces around him, has shown he can get the job done. If Zeke's not in, though, now they beat us without Zeke last year, right? The last week of the season, and Dak had a great game that day. I think he threw 3 touchdowns.
Hey, be quiet, Brandon Rogers in the chat. Shut up. Nope.
What did Brandon Rogers say?
He says, "Oh shit, Bobby, just stop." Kiss my fat ass, Brandon Rogers.
So tell me, Bobby. Tell me what you're looking forward to most on this year's roster with the Giants. Which unit, which player? What are you looking forward to most from last year to this year?
The offensive team all the way.
You
I
think the offense
Eli's
will be
going to have a great year this year.
okay? So you don't think Daniel Jones will see the field then?
No,
Okay.
there's no need for him this year.
Okay.
If Eli gets hurt, yes, but
Oh,
no,
of course,
other than that.
of course.
Yeah, then Barkley's going to be a monster this year. And then, let's see, what else? I think the offensive line is excellent.
The offensive line has looked strong in the preseason. I'm still not getting, they still haven't gone up against first team.
No, their running game looks awesome.
Oh, no, the offensive line's been impressive. The offensive line's been impressive so far. It's preseason, though. We're going to get a real test week 1 because that Cowboys defense is good, Bobby. I think you know that. That's a good defense.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a good test with that offensive line, that ground game week 1.
Right, but I think we'll do a lot better than last year's.
I hope so. And what's the key to the game for you? How do we beat the Cowboys on both sides of the football?
Well, we got to keep the ball away from the Cowboys, and then we run the ball a lot, and then just have, like, Eli, go out for, like, what is that called, passes? What's he famous for? what's that pass that
Play
they
action? Play action?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. See, when you get my age, you forget a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, so you're saying ball control off, and that's what I expect the Giants to be this whole year. I expect them to be a ball control.
Ball control.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the defense better wake up and kick them in the ass if they go bad. But it looks like the Giants' defense is better than last year's defense, though.
We'll have to wait and see. And what's going on, Rudy T, in the house? He calls me the
And
cannoli.
they got to get rid of Gellman. I don't like that running back.
What?
I don't think
what running?
He fumbles too much.
You don't like Gallman?
Yeah, Gellman fumbles too much.
You're talking about Gallman.
I like Perkins and I like Rod Smith.
Gettleman's the general manager. You're talking about Gallman.
Yeah, that's the running back, yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. He had a pretty decent game. I think he's going to make the team. But we'll have to wait and see. The roster's coming out tomorrow, so we'll know. We'll know, within probably 10 hours or so, we're going to know who makes the team, who doesn't.
So what are you doing tomorrow? You going to do it?
I'm thinking about doing it. If people want me to do it, I was thinking about doing a hangout. A bunch of my subscribers in the private chat suggested it. So I may
what
just do a hangout.
What time are you doing that at?
It's not going to be call-ins. It's not going to be call-ins.
What time is that?
It'll be around the same time if I do it. 10:30. 11.
Oh, you have to work tomorrow?
Yeah, I work Saturdays. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, Brendan Rogers, get off my ass, okay? Just shut up, okay? Please, get off my butt.
All right, okay? Bobby. But anything else, my man?
Okay, no. I let people call me. I hope Mark Israel calls, and I heard
I'm
the
sure
last
he will.
time
He always does,
said,
but he calls in towards
the
end
end.
of
He
the
said I'm ugly looking in the fish he caught.
All right,
Remember
Bobby.
he said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll hang up. I talk too much.
No, that's okay,
Did you
Bobby.
see Mr. Softy today, though?
Of course I did.
Oh, good. Okay. Have a great day.
All right, Bobby. Have a good one, my man. All right. Next call. You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
All right. I have some question about the Giants season.
Before we get into the questions, I always like to know who I'm talking to. Who's this?
Jet G from the stream.
What's going on, buddy?
Nothing. But I have some questions. So, my brother, he's a big Giants fan. He's older too. He thinks the Giants, if Eli plays, if those 4 games that the Giants have, Cowboys, I believe, Bills, Buccaneers, Redskins, right?
Right.
Do you think they could pull off 4-0 if Eli's on and Zeke is not playing that week 1?
If I'm being realistic, no. I do think if everything breaks right, they could go 3-1. I think they're going to go either 2-2 or 3-1 in their first 4 games. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because I think the Buccaneers or Bills are winnable games. They played really good against the Buccaneers last year. I think their defense had a couple interceptions, if I'm correct.
Yeah, well, last year when we played the Bucs, it was a shootout. I think it was 38-35, but the Giants had a huge lead. They gave up some garbage time touchdowns.
Yeah, garbage time touchdowns. And Ryan Fitzpatrick played half of that game. And then Winston came in, and then he came in and threw 2 touchdowns at the end.
Yeah.
And then I believe the Giants they don't play the Eagles in the beginning. They play the Eagles at the end of the season, right?
They play the Eagles 2 out of their last 4 games. I think weeks 14 and 17.
All right. And then I have another question. Do you like T.J. Jones?
I do like T.J. Jones. I don't know if
Jones too.
I don't know if he's definitely going to make this team because he doesn't have some of the upside maybe some of these other guys have. It depends how many receivers they go with. If they go with 7, now T.J. Jones got hurt last night. I don't know how serious it is, but if it's not a serious injury, I think he stands a good chance to make the team. Just make the team. I think he stands a good chance. I think Alonzo Russell's definitely going to make the team after what he did last night.
Yeah, and then you like Tanny over Lauletta, right?
I think I'm going Lauletta at this point.
Lauletta, yeah, he had a good game last night.
Yeah, Tanny played horrible.
Yeah,
the reason I wanted Tanny was because of his experience. Even though he hasn't played a lot, he's been in the league for like a decade. And it would be valuable to have a guy with knowledge on the bench, going over the clipboard, going over the plays.
Mm-hmm.
With Daniel Jones during the game. So that is why I thought that they probably would have went Tanny. And plus, they signed him to a contract before the season started. But the way he's played, he played good against the Jets. But outside of that first game, he's been bad. So I think they're going to go with Lauletta.
Yeah, and I mean, Lauletta's that last game, he didn't really get to play the first 3 games, right? He only got to play that last 4, I think.
Lauletta, no, I think he played every game, if I'm not mistaken.
right?
He did?
He only got boxed. My bad.
Yeah, I could be wrong on that, but I think he did. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, but I liked how Lauletta at the end and Alonzo Russell. I like Alonzo Russell. And then Golden Tate, he had a great catch the other night.
Oh my God, Golden Tate, two great catches. Well, more so the throws. The second catch was really impressive, but the both throws, Daniel Jones has been good. Daniel Jones has been good.
Yeah, and I think when I was looking at the draft board on draft night, I was watching your stream and your reaction was hilarious. I had to say that. It was hilarious.
Yeah, if I go back in time, I wouldn't have done that. But I always say it was more so not taking Josh Allen and less to do with taking Daniel Jones. I was in love with Josh Allen.
I wanted Josh Allen so badly.
Yeah, so it is what it is. You move. I don't have any regrets. I'm an emotional fan. I showed my emotions. That's it. You move on. Now I root for the kid, and I hope he does well. And so far, he's looked great, and so far he's made me look like an idiot.
Yeah, he looks pretty good, but the thing is, I don't want him to see the field this year. I really want to see Eli play that whole year out, and then I want Eli to go into retirement, have a good year. If he vans out to not do well, then it doesn't go good. But I want to see him one more playoff game, and I think this team is very capable of winning that. But I don't like what we have at receivers for top three right now going in without
the receivers are kind of funny because we have depth. We have a bunch of okay receivers. I feel like we have more depth than last year's roster at the position, but we don't have any top tier guys. That's the problem.
Yeah, we don't have any top tier guys.
Yeah, we got a bunch of we got a bunch of I don't love the receivers.
Yep. Yeah, but like Latimer,
T.J. Jones,
Fowler,
like you said, Fowler. Yeah.
T.J. Jones. Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out. I think Ingram is going to have a huge year. I think he might be the most targeted weapon on this offense this year, in terms of throwing the football.
Yeah, and he's been hurt the last two seasons, so
Yeah, but we'll see how it plays out. But anything else, buddy?
I got one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think the Giants have a possibility at 10-6?
Everything would have to break right. Chris Gardell, what's going on, my man? Thank you for popping in. I want to say hello to everybody for popping in. I appreciate it. D. Smith, Mackenzie, Gary C., Joey, Lutz, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. I think 10-6 is possible, but everything would have to break right. I think,
everything would have to break right.
I think more realistically, you're looking at
throwing the ball good.
Yeah, I think between 6 and 8 wins. I think that's what we're looking at this year.
Yeah, I agree. But 8 and they could. I mean, that 2012 team, they broke in at 9-7. But I mean, it's a reach, man. It's a reach to see them go to the playoffs.
You know what? I'm going into. There's no pressure this year because nobody's picking us. Nobody has high expectations if you're being realistic. There's no pressure, and if we don't do well. We still have a young nucleus. We have a lot of cap space next year. We've got a quarterback that's going to take over. We got Saquon Barkley. We've got a young and emerging team. So there's nothing but positive things this year. We're either going to learn or we're going to surprise people. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they do.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
You got it. Thank you for the call. Good caller.
All right, thank you.
All right. Next caller. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. What's going on, Adam? Thank you for popping in. Zach Rosen in the house. Vinny Piro in the house. If you guys haven't done so, please hit that thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Seti, what's up, my man? What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris. It's L.A. Lou.
L.A. Lou. Love this guy. What's going on, L.A. Lou? How you been?
I've been okay. I'm, a little tired. It's the end of the week. Just starting my weekend. Just sitting back, watching Dodgers play the Diamondbacks with the sound down, and I thought I'd call in. I just saw your video on the guys who got cut and who might do well for the Giants to pick up. And truthfully, the only ones I would think that would be worth kicking the tires on would be Marshall and Shane Ray.
Yes.
I wouldn't touch Craven because he'd be a liability in coverage.
Mm-hmm.
He really needs to switch over to being like an undersized linebacker.
That's that's the only reason why I brought him up because, and I completely agree with you. Those are my top two guys, I think, and I think Marshall's way above everybody. And I think Ray would be second, but a far second. But the reason I even brought up Craven is because this system calls for an undersized linebacker. The Betcher defense the money backer position is exactly that. It's what Dwayne Buchanan thrived in Arizona, and I thought he fits that mold. So that's why I thought maybe they show a little interest in him. But like he gets beaten coverage, like you said, and he's very injury prone.
Yeah, yeah. I think plus right now you have a really good young nucleus, and sometimes just the best thing to do is put them out there and play because they may be young, but these guys know football. I mean, that's what they know how to play, and sometimes just the best thing to do is let them play.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I mean, it's not like they're coming in and you're teaching them something new. They're just having to step up and play the game a little faster. But sometimes these guys, they just get out there and they just take to it right away because it's like it's in their DNA, you know. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about a guy like DeAndre Baker or that other kid. What's the kid? The guy who
Julian
got
Love?
shot.
You're talking about Ballantyne.
Corey
Ballantyne.
I wouldn't worry about them. Those guys, they've been ballers since they were kids. You know, they were ballers in college, and just let them get out there and play. You guys will be fine. You know.
I'm interested to see Ballantyne. I'm interested to see if he gets some time. I don't think he's going to be with the starting defense, but he may be in sub packages. I could see him maybe when they got three corners on the field, maybe in a dime package, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a young team. The only way they're going to learn is by playing. And I think at some point this year, unless they do what you think, and I hope you're right. I know you got the Giants at 10-6. If the
That's
Giants do what most people think, and they okay, but they kind of fall off, I think they're going to trade Jenkins, and I think you're going to see two rookies starting at the corner position. And at that point, that's what you want because you want them to develop for the following season.
Yeah, but there is one thing I think you guys ought to be careful about, and that's hoping to get off to a quick start. I mean, sometimes the best thing you can do is, especially when you have a team that's sort of like in transition, which is kind of like what the Giants are, because they're trying to get back to a winning culture from what they were before. And sometimes it's better off if they have something to adjust to, you know. And one of the teams that I think that you guys may have trouble with, simply because of the man on the sidelines, is Tampa Bay. You know,
Bruce Arians is a hell of a coach.
They always had good young talent. They just didn't have the guy to mold them. Well, now they got Bruce Arians, and this guy knows how to motivate people. You know, he did it when he was the interim coach, over there in Indianapolis. And he had some early success with Arizona, and he's got some good young players. I would be careful, of Tampa Bay. But I got, you were asking the guy before. Who was it, Bobby?
Bobby was the first caller.
Right. Yeah, you were asking. I think at one point you asked him, what do we have to do to beat the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of, that's kind of an easy question to answer. I mean,
it's easy. It's easy to answer. It's hard to accomplish.
Well, yeah, but think about it, right? You stuff the box, right?
Right.
Now, that'll work even with Zeke. Now, think about the Rams. The Rams had a really good team last year. Their weakness was their defense, and especially their linebacking core. All right, we weren't stout enough. We're much better now. I'm much happier now with what we've done, right? But what they did was they basically stuffed the box, and Zeke only had 50 yards, and that's with Zeke. And they said, okay, Dak beat us, right? And what did he do? He threw for 260 yards or something like that, and everybody's saying, wow, what a great game. This guy was a warrior, and he kept us in the game. And the only thing that kept him in the game was a pass interference call, in the fourth quarter by, in the end zone that put them on the one.
I
Otherwise,
remember that play.
Would have been, that would have been fourth down, and they would have been done, and then nobody would be talking about, look how close they came. They didn't come close. That game was controlled from beginning to end, and all you got to do is dare Dak to beat you.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. If Zeke doesn't play, Pollard's looked pretty good in the preseason, but he's not Zeke. He's not that short yardage runner. He's not the blocker Zeke is. He's not even close. If I'm the Giants, I don't stuff the box. I say, you know what, let Pollard beat me. I'm going to step back, and I'm going to guard against the pass. I'm going to make Pollard beat me, and because I don't think Dak can do it if we don't stuff the box. I don't think Dak's gonna have a big game if you don't stuff the box. I dare them to run the ball with Pollard, and if they beat us with Pollard, they beat us with Pollard. That would be my strategy.
Well, here's why I would say stack the box to begin with, because what's going to beat them is if you control A, the line of scrimmage, and B, the time of possession. Right now, with your offense, which this may sound kind of scary, but it has a lot of similarities to the Rams. All right, you got your signature running back, right? The guy who basically you want to give the ball to, and now that you got rid of OBJ, you don't have one main wide receiver that they can key in on. You have a wide receiving core. Right. I mean, if I were to ask you, okay, if you're playing the Rams, which wide receiver do you take away?
Well, it's a great point you bring up. It's a great point you bring up. It's a great point you bring up. The Rams have the same dynamic the Patriots always do. They have a bunch of good receivers that they spread the ball around to. Brandon Cooks, Corey Kupp, what's his name? Robert Woods. You guys have a bunch of. It's very much like the Patriots. Your dynamic at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, well, guess what? So it's you guys. You have the exact same thing now. It's just young. All right. You've got Golden Tate when he comes back. You've got Shepard, right? I like that guy Fowler. All right, and then I believe you have one other.
Well, we got Evan Ingram, and we got Saquon Barkley, who's a great threat out of the backfield to catch the ball.
Right. And what's that other kid's name? Everybody, Alonzo Russell.
Alonzo Russell, yeah, he's been good.
Yeah, so you guys could actually go 4 deep in your wide receivers, and they can't key in on any one of them. The only problem is they're young. They're as a wide receiving core, they're young. But hey, you know what? Let them go out and ball out, and you know what? Don't worry about your start. Okay, even if you guys start out 1-3, don't worry about it. So what you want is you want to be playing your best football at the end of the season. So and I'm telling you, even if you start out 1-3, okay, let the season go on. You guys will end up 10-6. Now if you start out 2-2, hey, that's the best you can. I would say that you can hope for. 3-1.
I'm gonna say. I think realistically 2-2 is probably the number, but
yeah.
I think 3-1 is possible. I'm not, because you bring up a great point. You bring up a great point with the Bucs. That defense has definitely improved. They brought in a great defensive mind in Todd Bowles. Bruce Arians, obviously a very good offensive mind. So they definitely have good minds on both sides of the football. So I expect the Bucs. They had a good offense last year. Their defense sucked. I think their defense may be a little bit better. I still think they're a subpar defense. But the Giants are going to have to put up a lot of points to win that game. No doubt about it on the road. That is going to be a much more challenging game. And the Bills are not going to be a pushover either. So realistically, you might be right. 1-3, 2-2 might be what we're looking at. I'm hoping for 3-1. I think it's possible. I think they should beat the Redskins at home. And then I'm hoping at worst you beat the Redskins and you split between the Bills and the Bucs. That would be 2-2.
Let me say this. If you guys hold the Cowboys to 17 points, which I think is highly possible, don't be surprised because I don't care who they have out there, Zeke or whoever, they're not a high-scoring offense.
Well, the key to the Cowboys, and I'm going to get into these stats when I do the preview, you got to get ahead of them. When you look at the Cowboys' record, when they fall behind first, when a team scores first on the Cowboys, they almost never win. They especially at halftime. If they trail at halftime, most of the time they are not coming back. Of course, when it's the reverse, you're not coming back on them. So a huge key, especially when you play the Cowboys, is to get out to that early start.
Yeah, well, you could even be behind at halftime as long as you're within 8 points, and I'll tell you why. It's something that I've noticed, and it happened. I noticed this back in 27. Well, I guess it was 2017 when we played the Cowboys in Dallas or Raleigh or wherever they play, right? We were down by 8, but the thing is, we made adjustments, and then we came out and we just basically took the game from them. We controlled the line of scrimmage, we shut them down. What they don't do, and this is why people, they forget who's on the sideline. they don't make adjustments. They don't adjust well, right? They don't.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why they got rid of Linehan, which it's not that. Well, he was a scapegoat. He was a scapegoat because truthfully, the guy that you have to pin this on is the clapper.
Jason Garrett.
Everything comes from the sideline. Okay, I don't care how much personnel you change. If you don't have a coach who can get you over the top, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the exact same thing each and every time and expecting a different outcome.
And that's what Bad Dog and myself always say. People who bash Gettleman, you put it perfectly. He switched it up. He didn't keep doing the same thing that Jerry Reese was doing. He's building through the trenches, and I think that's the way to build a team. I always say that I think the Cowboys did it right. They built through the trenches in the draft, and I think the Giants are doing the same thing. And I'm excited about this team. But not just this year, for the next 3 or 4 years. I think the Giants are going to have sustained success in the next couple of years. I really do.
Oh yeah, no, they're on a team on the upswing. Especially now, you got to go with Eli this year. I would not put everything on Daniel Jones his first year. I mean, I know he may be the most impressive quarterback of this rookie class, right? But he's still a guy coming from Duke who needs to bring him be brought along slowly. So you got to go with Eli.
To start the year for sure.
Eli is not going to be your focal point. He's not going to be the one who's going to be carrying this team. That's Saquon.
Yeah.
You okay?
The team definitely runs through Saquon. Oh, thank you so much, Batgirl, Dilly, and Nations. I take one call at a time. I can't pick favorites because everybody calls in, but I will try to get your call, Nations. Batgirl, thank you so much for the super chat. She says 5-star call from L.A. Lou. She likes you, L.A. Lou. She likes my Moss, and she likes your voice.
Oh, and you know something? Let me tell you something. I love Batgirl's avatar. Yvonne Craig is Batgirl. Oh man, I mean, hey, I hope you don't have a PG chat because man, she brings back so many memories. I have so many fond memories of adolescent Woodies because of Batgirl. God, oh man, Yvonne Craig. That's how
L.A. Lou. That's great.
Yeah. Well, listen, I could talk to you all night, man. But like I said,
maybe I'll be on the channel one time if you want to come on. Maybe I have you come on. We'll talk some football.
Oh yeah.
I love talking to you, man. You know your stuff, so I always like talking to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you go to get some more calls in, and I'm gonna like sit back and just watch it, and I'm gonna rest up because I got some stuff to do tomorrow, and so I'm just gonna chill back and watch the Dodgers. But hey, man, I enjoyed calling in. I like talking to you and Bat Dog. Hey, is there any chance that I could ever get the both of you at the same time? Because I would love to talk to you.
We got to figure that out. The problem with Skype is when you have a guest on via video, when somebody calls in, it knocks the video guest out. But it's something I want to tinker with because maybe if I have it on my channel and somebody calls in, maybe Bad Dog's video drops out, but he could still hear the call. So I want to tinker with it. Maybe we could figure it out. Maybe we'll try to figure that out next week.
All right, man. All right.
Thank you for the call, Lou.
Okay. Oh, you're very welcome, man. Talk to you later.
All right, have a good one. That was the infamous L.A. Lou. Great subscriber, great supporter of the sports community. He's an L.A. fan. He tunes in the Giants streams. What's better than that? All right. Next caller, you're on live. Thank you for calling in. Oh, Vinny Piro,
the number. What's going on? It's me, Delano. I'm calling real quick before I got to go back into the plant.
All right, Donna, 1 second. I just want to let them know. Vinny Piro asked, how do you call? The number's right above the screen right there, 914, blah, 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 whatever it is. That's how you call. Delano, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, first off, I wanted to say again, salute to everybody in the chat. Normal, you know what I'm saying, routine and everything, man. I hope everybody's having a good night. It felt great to beat the Patriots. And I know it's preseason, but I thought that was a real cheap attempt of trying to get another win in just for the sake of beating us. And I'm so glad that we went ahead and turned the tables on them in the second half. Kyle Lauletta is definitely our third string.
Yes, he is.
Alex Tanny Tango can go ahead and take a hike. And I don't mean on the field.
You are absolutely right about the Patriots. That's a great point you bring up. I don't know what they're thinking. They're playing Demaryius Thomas. What was he, late second quarter? It's the fourth preseason game. You're playing, guys that may be starting for you late into the game. That didn't make much sense to me. They were definitely trying to win that football game.
I don't know, and I don't know who we're gonna get rid of for Russell's spot, but Russell got to make the squad. Russell has impressed me since that Chicago game. I have never been so gung-ho about somebody needing to be on the spot, needing to be on that squad, as I have been about Russell. I was the same way. I won't say that, because I was the same way with Cruz. When Victor Cruz, when I seen him catch that long ball against Dallas in the preseason game, I was like, that's our guy.
Yeah.
He got star power written all over him. Then he broke out the salsa, I think, the week right after that. And so I was like, yeah, that's definitely our guy. And then to find out all the information, him being from Jersey too, and all. So all that was like tied in. But Russell has impressed. And between him and Reggie White Jr., you know what? I would love for them to be a part of the future.
I don't think White
going
makes the
forward.
team. I think White's going to be on the practice squad. And thank you so much for the super chat, Darnell, man. I hope to talk to you soon. He says he's almost home. Thank you so much, Darnell. Thank you for being a great subscriber. But what was I going to say to you? I think Russell's making the team. I'd be surprised if Reggie White does, because when you look at the roster, 7 wide receiver spots, there's 4 givens. Latimer's going to make the team. Russell Shepard's going to make the team. He's a veteran. He's good on special teams. Sterling Shepard, obviously, and Benny Fowler. Those 4 are givens. You figure Russell makes it as 5. TJ Jones, I think, is probably going to make it as 6. And who am I forgetting? There's somebody else. I mean, you got Britton Golden in the mix. You got who you just said. We'll see. Maybe they both make it. Reggie White Jr. We'll see. But I think I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Darius Slayton.
I was about to say Slayton, but I think Slayton, his issue will always be the injuries. I mean, he'll still be on. I think he'll definitely be on the squad and everything. But I'm always worried about him and them injuries. That's always one of those things that you scratch your head, and it's almost like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop when it comes down to him, because he's such a good player, but he just never stay on the field.
Right. And a lot of people saying Golden Tate in the chat. I don't think Golden Tate goes against the roster because he's going to be suspended for the first 4 games. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think he's going to make up part of the 53-man roster to start the season.
Right. Yeah. His suspension is a 4-game. And from what I understood, the last thing was that he wasn't going to fight it. He was going to accept it.
Oh yeah, no,
take the 4 games and move on.
Yeah, he's getting the 4 games.
And come back week 5. So I mean, fine. But again, I just, those guys have really impressed. They hustled hard, and I mean, I would just love for guys like that to get rewarded. Because not everybody does. Not everybody that plays or gets drafted comes in with the mentality of earning their spot. Some people feel like it's a given because of their name, and I just really want guys, and I think that's for me in all of my team sports. I want every guy to want to play for his spot. Don't feel like it's already given to you. It's not handed to you. This is not a charity, and it's not an inheritance. You have to play to play. You dig what I'm saying?
I agree. We had the same mentality with the Knicks last year. It didn't work out too well, but it was the same type of feeling where you wanted all the young guys to play and fight for their spot. Right,
but even that was a tank season. So the tank commanders was all over that. But I really I love what I've seen from these guys. CJ Conrad, I don't know what happened yesterday, but I'm super disappointed in him.
Yeah, he's gonna make the team. Simonson got hurt, and Conrad's gonna make the team.
Yeah, and Tolliver, see, this is where it gets kind of tricky, because Tolliver was getting burned by starters.
Right.
And I don't know if Henry Tolliver is the guy that I'm looking at, and is that going to be my start? He's not a starter, so I'm not worried about him. But at the same time, like, this is the time when you should be trying to make a name for yourself. You don't want to be that guy that continues to be, like, just you don't want to be the doormat. You don't want to be the guy that continues to get stepped on. You don't want to be the guy that continues to get laughed at and, this is going to be an easy play. You don't want to be that target. So for me, I was disappointed in him in that regard. Like, this is the time when, again, you had Demaryius Thomas on one side, and he just anytime he wanted the ball, he got it.
Right.
And that's your coverage.
Right.
So
I don't think
it's a
he's
bad
making
look.
the team. I don't think he's making the team.
Yeah, but it's really disappointing because I had high hopes for him, initially, but we'll see. But I really feel like at the end of the day, I think 9-7 is I think that's our record. I'm hoping I'm right.
I hope
That's
you're
our
right too.
record.
9-7 would be a magical year. Maybe we sneak into the playoffs. I would love to for us to go 9-7. We defy all odds. ESPN has us ranked 31st. I mean, nobody's given us a chance, and I like it that way.
Right. Yeah, because I feel like that's another thing. We'll sneak in and beat teams that we're expected to lose to, and then it'll open a lot of people's eyes. Because again, I understand that everybody's going off of last year, but this is not the same team from last year.
Right.
So you have to look at us in a different light. You can't keep going back to that's almost like the whole situation with Kansas City. I keep saying Kansas City's going to take a drop off offensively, but their defense has stepped up to where you can see there might be a balance.
I tell you,
so
Kansas
you
City,
don't know.
I think Kansas City's going to the Super Bowl this year. I like Kansas City a lot.
Yeah, because let's be real. Like I said, last year they could have won. It was as simple as a coin flip. That's really the tale of that game.
Yeah.
It's as simple as a coin flip because
and the
at the end of
roughing the
the day,
passer call, the bogus roughing the passer call on Brady.
oh yeah, that was so trash. Oh my God! But and that's why sometimes it's hard for me to sit there and say that the Patriots won all those Super Bowls and didn't get help. Like no, so some of this stuff is absolutely suspect. Those calls are bogus, and if anybody else saw it for any of their teams, they'd be saying the same thing too. So for me, I just feel like again, Kansas City definitely is one of those teams that they've balanced themselves out. Where again, the loss of Hill for that, for a time, and losing Hunt didn't necessarily knock them out of contention because they continued to build on their defense, and their offense is still going to be able to sustain going forward.
And as well as I do, their head coach over there, Andy Reid, he has a brilliant offensive mind. You stick a running back in there, he's going to be great. That's the way it's been his entire career. Andy Reid knows how to make plays with his offense.
Yeah, he's got a mind as it's bright and it's as wide as his stomach is. He's one of those guys that, listen. If you say brain food, I'm sure he got a fork and knife in his hands, ready to go at it. So, one of those guys, he benefits from that. But I'm just hoping that again that we do great this season. I hope that week 1 starts off where, again, even if Zeke plays, we crush him. I would love for them to, go ahead and.
I've been saying the whole
right in Jerry's house.
If we ever win that game, which if I'm being honest with you, I'm not going to pick them to win. But if we ever win that game, that's going to change the outlook on the whole season. Not for all Giants fans. Everybody's going to think we have a shot at the playoffs if we can win week 1. So that's the magic of the NFL. You go out there if you find a way to beat the Cowboys, people are going to start believing that this could be a fun season.
Oh yeah. And that's all it is. Because, at the end of the day, the beautiful thing about the NFL is it is unpredictable. One season you could be a lottery team. Next season you could be a contender. So, for me, I'm just hoping that that's our luck, that this rebuild doesn't take forever. We've got great pieces. I'm actually excited to see Daniel Jones eventually come on the field and, take over that franchise.
Can't wait. And Batgirl's asking who's on the phone. It's Delano. Delano's the freaking man. And by the way, thank you to everybody. I can't talk to the chat as I'm talking on the phone. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. I'll just read off some people. Angel Rodriguez, Dyer, Giants fan. Marty McFly, all the way from Back to the Future. Thank you for popping in, man. Thank you guys for being here. Delano, anything else? I got this one number. He's called like 50 times since you've been on the phone.
Okay. And tell Doc Brown I said what's up, Marty. Again, salute to everybody in the chat. And whenever we playing Sir Cardinals trivia, I'll be there too. So everybody have a good night, and I'll probably join y'all in the chat in a few too.
I appreciate the call, Donald. Thank you so much for being a great subscriber.
You the man.
All right, have a good one, man. All right. Next call, you're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Stand up, the entertainer.
We got John Letourneau on the line. What is going on, the Big Phillies Ace? And thank you, Batgirl, for the super chat. She says 5-star call by Delano. And Delano is fantastic, Batgirl, and so is John Letourneau. Both of them been with me since near the beginning. If you thought Delano was good, you're going to think John's good. He always brings a good take. He's a big Eagles fan. What's going on, John?
Good. Congratulations to your Mets. They beat my Phillies today.
Oh God! Finally, we lost 6 in a row.
It was 11-5. We can't. I just don't like the way if we even make it to the wild card. If we lose one game, we're gonna give up like 30 runs in one game or blow it some way. It's just. I don't know what to do, man. It's just banging my head against the wall, hoping that they can somehow generate to make a good push through the playoffs. But
yeah,
it just doesn't look good.
I hear you, man. It's been a disappointing year for the Phillies, no doubt about it.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to talk real quickly about. Do you think if the Eagles, what is his name, Clowney? He said he only wants to play for 3 teams. I heard rumors that if the Eagles give up, I don't want them to give up Alshon Jeffries. You think that would be a mistake if they did that for Clowney? Because we have a good defensive pass rush anyway.
I don't. I know that the Eagles are rumored. The Eagles seem to be rumored to be in on everybody. I don't see it because how do you guys retain him next year? Because where's your? It would be
only a 1-year thing. It would be like how Bennett was.
I don't know. For only 1 year. Yeah, if I was an Eagles, I would just go with the team I got. I wouldn't be looking to trade.
That's what I'm saying.
I would go with the team I got. In my opinion, Clowney, for the most part throughout his career, has been somewhat disappointing. He's been good, but he hasn't lived up to the number 1 overall pick. I think he went 1. Did he go 1 or 2? I don't remember. But
yeah,
I would stay with what you got. I wouldn't be looking to make trades if I were the Eagles. To be honest with you, I don't see why anybody wants to make a trade for Clowney. I mean, unless you're going to get him for a bargain, but I'm not giving up a 1st or a 2nd round pick for Clowney. He's going to be a free agent next year.
And I'm not going to give up Alshon Jeffries for him either.
Well, he's your number 1 wide receiver. He's your number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Yeah, there's one thing I want you to do is beat Dallas this week. This is one of the few times I'm rooting for your team. I can't stand the Giants. I can't stand the Cowboys, even worse. So I'm helping you, give you that mojo to go into Dallas and walk out with a win. And so Jerry Jones can start crying about paying Ezekiel. I would love to see that. I hope you guys do that, and that's my dream for the first weekend. Do you still think that do you think after week 1 you'll be able to tell if you're still going to be on the Dallas train or the Eagles perhaps taking over the division? Especially if you just go in to Dallas and beat them.
I can't. I'm not going to change my mind off of week 1. But we'll see. The Eagles notorious. Well, at least last year they came out pretty sloppy. I think they're going to win. I think you guys will win against the Reds. Where's that game being played? Washington or Philly?
I think it's home.
Okay, I think you guys are going to win that game. But I have a feeling you guys come out, you play a little sloppy. I think Wentz comes out a little sloppy. I think you guys find a way to win. And if I'm being honest, I think the Cowboys are going to win. I hope not. And I know all Eagles fans are rooting for the Giants because obviously they view the Cowboys as a bigger threat. But we'll see how it plays out. Right now, I got the Cowboys winning the division. And I've got you guys coming in second right now, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, man, I love your channel. Keep doing what you do, man. I wish you were an Eagle fan, but that's the only bad thing about you, Chris. Keep that chest hair growing, and I love you, brother. Have a good stream, man.
I appreciate
it. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for being such a great supporter. I do appreciate it.
And one more thing. Stella!
Have a good one, my man. Have a good one.
All right.
All right. Next call. You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's up?
What is Is this Nations?
It's just King Envy's son.
Oh, it's King Envy. What's going on? How's your dad doing?
He's doing good. Did he get in the show today?
I saw him in the chat. I just didn't get a chance to say hello to him because I'm on the phone. But thank you, Chris. Chris is too classy to be an Eagles. I'm too classy, real New York Giants. But you're damn right I am. But what is going on, King Envy? What's your name, by the way? What's your name?
Ben.
What is going on, Ben? How you doing?
Good. I just wanted to talk about them Giants yesterday. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it.
What a fun game that was. Alonzo Russell comes up with the touchdown catch with no time on the clock.
I know. But when we had Eli Manning in there, I felt like a little bit nervous because the longer he plays, I feel like the worse he's gonna get.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What you said Eli?
Yeah, Eli.
I knew they weren't going to play Eli game 4 because they didn't play the whole first team offense, so there was no point. You want to rest up your starters for week 1. I'm
But
confident.
Daniel Jones though, he did good.
Oh, Daniel Jones has been great the whole preseason. He's definitely put some pressure on Eli. There's no doubt about it. And I'm going to say this, and I know I'm a big Eli fan. I love Eli. I think.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback because we had him for years.
I think Eli's going to play well. I think Eli's going to play well. I think he's going to come out there the first couple of weeks. I'm not going to necessarily say it results in wins, but I think Eli's going to play well. I think he's got a fire under his butt. I think he knows he's playing for his job, and I think he's going to answer the call. I think Eli. You see the work he put in the offseason. He lost a ton of weight. They've improved their offensive line dramatically. I expect Eli to play pretty well this year. I really do.
Yeah, and our offensive line is doing good.
The offensive lines are great. So far in the preseason. It's been great. Opening up big holes for the running game.
But wasn't that Golden Tate that made that big catch?
Golden Tate made the great catch yesterday on the sideline.
Yeah.
It was an even better throw by Jones.
Yeah. But I think Golden Tate will be a good wide receiver for us.
Oh, Golden Tate's going to be great. Golden Tate's going to be great this year when he's on the field. I think he was a perfect fit for this system. He's going to run a lot of those underneath routes, those short and intermediate routes, which I think fits this system very well. So I think Tate was a good pickup. I didn't like the contract, but I think he fits the system well. I think he's a good locker room guy. I think that's why they brought him in.
Yeah. Yeah, but when I saw the NFL draft, I'm like, they really picked Daniel Jones. Like, really? Really?
Well, you know what?
That I think
so far, Ben, he's been doing a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, now that I'm like, oh my God, they made a good ass choice.
Yeah. I mean, he's proven a lot. Making me look like a fool. I've never been happier.
Yeah.
I've never been happier to look like.
I'm never gonna forget that moment of viewing the NFL draft.
Yeah, hopefully I don't do that next year. Hopefully I'm happy with the pick. That'd be nice.
I think Saquon Barkley will be good. Well, of course he's gonna be good. I mean.
Yeah, Barkley's going to be great. Barkley was unbelievable last year. Led the league in 40-yard carries, led the league in 20-yard carries, was only the third back.
Weird question. Do the Rams still have Todd Gurley?
Yeah, he's banged up. He's going to play. He's going to start the year, but he's going to be on a carry limit from what I've read. So he's on, I think...
him and Saquon Barkley. I mean, Saquon Barkley's a rookie. He's the best rookie... running back.
He's the best Don't take the rookie out of that sentence. He's the best running back. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
Best running back.
I play football. I play for the Pittsfield Bulldogs because I live in Pittsfield.
What do you play? What position?
I play QB and linebacker.
There you go. Good to hear. Maybe you'll be the next Daniel Jones.
Maybe.
When you get drafted, I won't curse. I'll be happy.
Even if I make it to the NFL, either it's basketball for me or NFL.
All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck, my man. Anything else, Ben?
Nah.
Well, Ben, man, I want to say thank you for calling in. I want to thank your dad for being such a great subscriber. I want to thank you for being such a great subscriber.
he's a great dad.
I'm glad to hear that. And
so you're lucky because my dad's the one that got me into you. Because
I am lucky.
I'm like this. I like this guy. Once he told me all about you, I was like, all right, I'm watching this, and I saw your video a little while ago.
Oh, you watched the free agent video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, by the way. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being a great supporter of my channel. I hope you watch the stream. Actually, we're going to be doing the Giant Show live, not call-ins, but Tuesday. So I hope you swing by for that. And then,
Tuesday?
Tuesday on my channel. Friday's going to be on Bad Dog's channel, and then we're going to be streaming the game together.
What time?
It's around the same time, 10:20-ish. 10:20.
Okay. Yeah, I'll call in.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for being a great supporter of the channel. Tell you that I said what's up.
All right.
All right, Ben. Have a good night. That was Ben. Ben is the friggin' man. Ben is the friggin' man. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
King Envy, what's up?
Look at this. Father like son.
Back to back.
What is going on, King Envy? How you doing, my man?
That's good. I just got to tell my son to watch his mouth.
Your son's great, man. Great call.
Yeah, he's cute. Yeah, he's QB of his team. He does play linebacker. But yeah, what did I want to call about? What's up with that? How Russell didn't get that pass interference call, but they called it on him when that stuff wasn't an interference, man. Last night.
Oh, I mean, referees miss calls all the time. I mean, at the end,
Yeah.
that's why you're able to challenge pass interferences, which I don't even know if I'm a fan of. After seeing how it's playing out, like that, you could challenge basically any pass, and it could be called a penalty.
Yeah, I'm just mad that like when he threw the challenge flag for the one against Russell where they were holding his jersey and stuff like that, they didn't get that, but then they turn around and call it on him, and it's not even like he was tugging him, touching him, or nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's annoying. Let's hope that doesn't happen when it matters. Let's hope that doesn't happen on Sunday, next Sunday.
Yeah, no, I hope Zeke doesn't play, man, and I really think that's our best shot if Zeke doesn't play, man.
Oh, of course. Listen, I'm not one to, I get what Giants fans are saying in my comments. They're saying they want Zeke to play because they don't want the Dallas fans to have any excuses. I don't care. I don't care.
No,
I want the Giants to have their best chance to win. I want the Giants to have their best chance to win. If Dak oversleeps, if Zeke doesn't show up, if Amari Cooper decides to, catch a train to another city, I'll be completely fine with that.
Yeah, me too. I'm really open. I don't think they're getting that contract done, so I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good game to watch. Definitely.
Yeah, I think the Giants are going to keep it close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And the biggest key to the game for me, Giants got to get ahead. They got to get ahead because the Cowboys do not like to play from behind.
Yeah, that's what I said. You were talking to somebody earlier about that, and let's hope for it, man. You know what I mean? I really, like you said, it'll change the way we look at the season, man. If we could just take these guys out the first game.
Oh, I'll tell you. If Zeke doesn't play that game, part of me thinks Zeke is rooting for the Giants to win because he knows if the Giants win that game, the Cowboys are going to come crawling back and they're going to be in desperation mode and they're going to have to give him as much money as he wants. So part of me thinks Zeke's going to be pulling for the Giants if he sits out week 1.
Yeah, no, he's definitely pulling for us because then they're going to pay him his money. But I'm glad he'll be riding. He'll be sitting in Cabo, and hopefully we take that W because I think it really will change our season, man. We need that. We definitely need that. But
if we ever win game 1, that changes the whole outlook of the year. I mean, everybody's going to be saying, okay, maybe this team's got something. Maybe this team go 9-7. So we'll have to see. Can't wait though.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's. Yeah, even without Zeke, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think it's going to be a good game, and we got a chance. And like it'll be great for morale just to go in there and beat them week 1 at the Cowboys, and then who knows for week 2, the second time we play them at home. But
and how fitting would it be? If I'm not mistaken, I think Eli Manning won the first game ever played at the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I could be wrong on that. I know he won the first game he ever played there. I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was the first game ever played there. And how fitting would that be? Eli's last game he plays there, he beats him.
I think it'd be beautiful. I think, like I said, I want to see Eli go out like the legend he is, and I hope he plays well. He does look good. You know what I mean? Our team is different. Of course, if he doesn't play well, we'll all be rooting, for Daniel Jones to come out. But Eli, I think gives us our best shot. He is the veteran. He's good in those. He's going to be the better one in these tough games. But
I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait. I hope I'm an Eli guy. I want to see Daniel Jones just as much as anybody else. I'm rooting for the kid. I want to see Eli go out on a good note. I want to see him go out there, compete, and keep this team in the race this year. I think it could do Daniel Jones a world of good to sit on the bench for a few, for at least half a season, 10 games to learn underneath Eli. I want to see Eli have a good year. I'm rooting for Eli.
Do you think, because I really don't think no matter what Eli does this year that we're starting him next year, do you think he's going to go out as a Giant or be like his brother and go to the next team? Because I don't think he's done playing.
We'll see. We'll see how he plays this year. He will not be a Giant next year. There's no way. Especially with the way Daniel Jones has looked. There is no... unless the Giants win a Super Bowl, No way he comes back next year, in my opinion. So, but there's going to be a few potential openings next year. The Colts are a potential opening. If the Colts play 7-9, 8-8, and Brissett's like mediocre, they might say, let's throw a year contract at Eli. We're not going to be able to draft a quarterback as late as we're drafting in the draft. Maybe we give Eli a year contract. It's a situation that's possible.
Do you think the man, like, since they kind of forced his brother out, do you think that's still a good situation for him that the Mannings would like?
It's a good point. It's a much different situation, though, because that year that Peyton got hurt, nobody knew that Peyton could even come back from that. It was a spinal injury. People were scared that if he took another hit there, he may not be able to never walk a day in his life. So doctors were actually encouraging Peyton never to play again. And the Colts were so bad the year that Peyton went down, they got the number 1 pick in a draft where it was the most anticipated quarterback since Peyton Manning to come out of college football in Andrew Luck. So everything just worked against Peyton.
They really can't be salty about that, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that they'd welcome Eli if it made sense. We have to see how the season plays out, but I think the Colts are a possible destination. I think the Saints are a possible destination if Drew Brees ever retired. I think there's a few possible destinations. It would have to be a team that was set up to win that didn't have a high draft pick, that viewed Eli as a guy that could put them over the top. That's the only possible situation.
I think Colts would be perfect. I think it'd be the perfect thing for Eli, and I wouldn't feel bad about him not coming back to the Giants because he'd get it. He'd get his shot to keep playing. You know what I mean? If he wants to keep playing, I want to see him keep playing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah, but I'll let you go. I know other callers want to get in, but keep up the good work, Chris.
You got it, man. Thank you. Thank you for you and Ben for calling in. I appreciate it, King Envy.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, my man. All right. Next caller. Thank you for calling in.
Hello. Ben's the knees. What's going on?
Ben's the knees. The Moss Boss is on the phone with Steven Evans, one of my favorite subscribers. What's going on, my man?
I'm good. I'm tired, man. I'm sitting here listening to you. I'm halfway falling asleep. It's not the content. It's just my stressful life. But no,
I'm sorry to hear that, man. What happened? Did you run up your cell phone bill on your 6 phone? What happened?
I did not run up my cell phone bill on my 6 phones, you son of a bitch. I'm having a long day. All
right. What's up, my man?
Moss Boss. I'm good. Listen, I've talked to you a couple of times, and I'm kind of the mindset that, a 4-win season for the Giants would be a successful one, right? And I know in some ways you definitely agree. Now listen, I got the Giants schedule here in front of me, right? So now just bear with me. This is what I'm thinking would be a successful season. Okay, so we just finished up the preseason. The first game is next Sunday or whatever.
Right.
Giants Cowboys on the road, okay?
Right.
And before I start, I think you are right. I think Eli not only won the first Giants Cowboys game in Jerry World, I think Eli won the first game ever played, period,
I'm almost
in Jerry
positive
World.
he did. And I remember what Eli did when he won that game. He signed his signature on the stadium.
Damn straight. So the little the all shucks got a little bit of moxie with him, low key. People don't really know that about Eli.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. So boom, the Giants play the Cowboys first game of the season. Now, in my little perfect world, right, the Giants beat the Cowboys in whatever fashion, handedly or a close game, whatever. But it's in Jerry World, it's national stage. Eli plays well. We beat the Cowboys. Next game is against the Bills. At home. After that, we're on the road against the Buccaneers. After that, we're at home against the Redskins. And after that, we're at home against the Redskins.
No, Vikings, week 5. Vikings.
Yeah, against the Vikings, right?
Right.
So if Eli beats the Cowboys, okay, we're riding high. If we come back home that next week and lose to the Bills, that's going to be a problem.
Ruins everything.
Right.
You might as well just lose to the Cowboys and beat the Bills. It's the same thing. You have to. If they were ever able to beat the Cowboys, you have to follow that up with a win week 2. You have to do it.
Absolutely. So, but we know how things go, and it wouldn't be a narrative, it wouldn't be a story if the Giants didn't come back home and shit the bed against the Bills, right? So at that point, we're 1-1. We go on the road against the Buccaneers. We're sleeping on them or whatever. We're now 1-2. We're back home against the Redskins. We lose that game. We're now 1-3. Now the media and the fans are losing their shit. They want to see the kid. We're giving Eli one last hurrah, okay? It's at home against the Vikings. The Vikings come in and put their foot completely up our ass.
Right.
And so at that point, the next game would be a road game against the Patriots. Assuming the Patriots are undefeated, we put the kid in there against the Patriots, and he shocks the world and beats the Patriots. That'll be win 2, right?
All right, before you keep going, in this hypothetical scenario, if the Giants are 1-4 and Eli has not been replaced yet, I would be shocked if they put Daniel Jones in for his first game in Foxborough. I'd be surprised. I think they would wait until the following week to play Arizona at home, where it's a much more.
And listen, that's actually conventional wisdom, and I can appreciate people thinking like that. But for me, I'm like, you know what? What better way to introduce this kid to the league than to put him up against a undefeated Belichick coach defense with his history against rookie quarterbacks. And God forbid he shocked the world, or even in a loss showed consistent flashes against a Patriot Super Bowl contending team on the road, right? So I would much rather see that for his debut. Plus, there's something to be said for making your debut on the road as opposed to home. You know, the whole pressure thing, so on and so forth. So he can use that as a springboard to come back and beat the lowly Cardinals the next week or whatever. That's how I'm looking at it.
I get what you're saying. Me personally, I think the earliest Jones will start this year, unless the Giants start 0-4. If the Giants start 0-4, all bets are off. But the way I look at it, even if the Giants are 0-4, if I'm the coach, the earliest I'm putting Jones in is week 7 because the Vikings have a great defense and Foxborough is one of the hardest places to play. So I think if the Giants get off to a really bad start, if I'm the coach, Daniel Jones does not come in until week 7. If the Giants are, competitive, I wait till after the bye and play it by ear. But, I mean, what you just drew up is a fairy tale story. I mean, if Daniel Jones makes his debut in Foxborough and ever won that game, I mean, Giants fans would be going absolutely bananas.
I mean, come on. And listen, also, too, technically, I don't care where – well, actually, that's a lie. In my personal fairy tale story, the season goes as follows. We went – just like I told you the other day, we only win 4 games. And go ahead and get to that chat. That super chat if you want to. I see the super chat there.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Great call earlier, LA Lou, and he says Eli is kryptonite to Tom Brady. You play Eli against Tom.
That's right.
He brings up a good point. I think the last 3 times he's played him, maybe not, but he beat him. He beat him in the regular season the year they won the Super Bowl in 2011. Beat him in the Super Bowl that year, and then of course beat him in 2007 Super Bowl. And then he almost beat him in Week 17 that year, where they, in 2007.
That was a springboard.
Yeah, it was the springboard. 38-35, I think, was the final score. Same score as the Packer game in 2011, which was the springboard. Remember that game? I was at that game. Regular season, Packers came in at like 11, 12-0. Giants played them down to the wire, lost the game, and then they went on their run after that. So very similar things both those years.
That's right. And listen, long story short, right? My complete fantasy wish list for the season is 4 wins, 2 against the Eagles, 2 against the Cowboys, which would leave us at 4-12, which would also position us to draft Judy out of Alabama, and then move forward next season with some really nice triplets in Daniel Jones, Judy, and Saquon, obviously. And also, too, throughout this 4-12 season, we see flashes of brilliance, I want to say, from Ingram. We see the X-Men start coming off that edge. We see Ogletree take more of a defensive team leader position. We see some of the young cornerbacks actually bear some fruit and show capabilities. I would like to see all of that growth and development while beating our 2 biggest rivals in division, right? And seeing ourselves positioned for a top pick so that we can get some more talent to help one side of the ball or the other. And I'm good. No major injuries. Like, I'm straight with that. That would be a good enough season for me because we can look forward to much better seasons than that if we play it right.
Well, that's what I say when there's nothing to lose this year, because if that scenario, first off, if the Giants are not going to make the playoffs this year, I beg. I just want the chance, Week 17, to end the Eagles season. Just give us the chance. I'll see what happens. That would be our Super Bowl. But there's nothing bad that can come from this year because we don't have expectations. We realize we're in a rebuild mode. We're a team with a lot of young players that are unproven. And if they prove themselves this year, maybe we could be better than people think. But if they don't, and we have a 4-12, a 5-11 season, we're gonna have a very high draft pick. We're gonna have $80 million in cap space. We're gonna have an emerging quarterback with Saquon Barkley, an improving offensive line. So there's gonna be a lot to look forward to in the next season. So, and with the high draft pick that we'll have, you could take a Jerry Jeudy, you could take a pass rusher there. You'll have a lot of options. So there's nothing bad that could come from the season. If we shock the world, maybe we sneak into the playoffs. Or if we do really poorly, we have another really high draft pick with a lot of cap space to match. So I'm excited either year. I just want this team to go out and compete. Do not quit like they did in 2017 when that team just rolled over and died. I want this team to go out every week and play hard. That's what I asked for.
Definitely. That's a bad look. And listen, again, thanks for the call, man. Obviously, love the channel. Bends the knees gang, the Mars boss, give a shout out to the chat. Sex is racist. We all know what it is. And listen, enjoy your night, man. I appreciate that, man.
And yeah, the Bends the Knees gang, the best gang on YouTube. I appreciate you guys very much.
That's right. So go on, keep doing what you're doing, man. I'll keep supporting and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Steven Evans, man. Thank you so much for the call, buddy.
All right, later.
Have a good one. Great call. All right. Let's get the next caller. What is going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, goodness. It's the cannoli Casanova himself.
Rudy T. I love this guy, man. How you doing, Rudy? How's Arizona? Arizona?
Oh, speaking of Arizona, have you heard of Segura Lake?
Segura Lake?
Yeah.
No, I may have seen it. I went to Arizona once.
It's up Route 87 in Arizona. No, never heard of it?
Not off the top of my head.
All right, good, because that's where I drove out because I got a hot date lined up this weekend, and she lives in my town, right? Okay. So I was scared to call in and have your voice going through my speakers in my neighborhood, you know what I mean? And then that's it. Then I'm done.
Rudy says all the time when he calls in, when the women hear my voice, they, he loses his dates. So
I mean, that's it. You take me right out, man. I'm walking around like I'm hot shit out here, and then as soon as I be a loyal supporter and call in, that's it. I cancel all my plans for the night and the weekend.
Rudy's the man. One of my original subscribers. Love this guy. Are you ready for some Giants football?
Hey, I'm so excited. We're only 8-9 days away from real action. I remember we were doing the countdown from 100+ days.
Yeah, so I can't wait. I cannot wait, and I hope we shock the world because everybody's counting us out. And I know you're positive. You're one of my most positive subscribers. LA Lou's very positive about the Giants. You're very positive. I have a few others. You've told me you think this team has a shot to make the playoffs this year.
Sneak in. I see us as an 8-8 team. That's where I'm at right now. And and that's obviously with a couple of upsets along the way. And I think, hey, if we could just sneak in by winning the division somehow, which I really think is the most plausible way. I don't think we would have one of the better records in the NFL, but I definitely think that we could somehow find a way to beat our division because Dallas's locker room's a mess in spite of how stacked they are. Eagles have a history of being stacked and flopping. I'm just not a Wentz believer. I don't think he's that dude that could really put the team on the back. And then we own the Redskins. I don't have to say anything about them. You know what I mean? So in my optimistic eyes, yes, it is possible. I know it's a stretch. I'm just hoping for, a good season with no injuries. Like Delano said, I'm really excited about that kid, Alonzo Russell. I had the same impression of him and Cruz also. It's funny he made that analogy.
Yeah, Alonzo Russell, obviously one of his highlight plays was on the interception where he raced the guy down on that play. He's been impressive the whole preseason, and he's earned it. He's earned his spot. Yeah. And, he probably won't get an opportunity to start the year, obviously. He's going to be backed up. But, a couple injuries here, a couple injuries there. Just like for Cruz. Cruz got his opportunity, and he ran with it. So you never know.
Mm-hmm. He's a big body, 6'4", right? That might be like one of our tallest receivers.
I think it is.
We're lacking in that area. We need somebody to go up and get those balls, and he has a very keen eye for the ball. He just finds the right locations. You know what I mean? You don't have to be the best catch in the world as long as you're in the right location all the time.
It's possible they use him in red zone packages because, like you said, I think Latimer's our tallest receiver. That's projected to get significant time, and he's 6'2". Maybe they use him in red zone packages if he makes the roster. Ingram's a tall target as well.
Ingram's going to be that dude. Yeah, I really think he's going to have. I think Bad Dog said it too, that he believes he's going to have a very big year. I'm on that team as well in terms of a receiving weapon on our team. I really think he's just going to explode, especially since he's not going to have the same dude, because he's not like a, let's be realistic, he's not a blocking tight end. You know what I mean? So his most effective usage on the field is going down the middle and beating a linebacker or somebody in the secondary. And I really think that between trying to stop Barkley and our offensive line actually being a cohesive unit, which it seems like it could be, I really think that, I'm not really worried about our offense overall. It's our defense that I'm concerned about.
And thank you very much for the super chat, Batgirl. She says, I love the vibe of all your callers and chatters. I'll tell you, Batgirl, I have some of the best subscribers on YouTube. I love every one of these guys. They mean the world to my channel. So do you. And thank you to everybody for being here. And thank you once again, Batgirl. I completely agree with you, Rudy. The offense, I don't have much to worry about. I really don't. I think everybody's going to panic because Beckham's gone, but I like the direction of the offense.
We're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
We got the best running back in football. We improved the offensive line, and Eli's going to spread the ball around. I think we're going to have a good offense.
Oh, yeah. I'm not worried about that side at all. I'm just worried. I mean, we don't have a pass rush. I mean, let's be real. We don't have a pass rush. And it's really disappointing because I think I grew up in the era of, when Giants were known for their linebackers, and we haven't had a legit linebacker core since talking about when Antonio Pierce was on the team, and which, by the way, I met years ago. But yeah, that's me.
One of my favorite Giants. Pierce. Pierce is the best middle linebacker we've had in forever, and he wasn't even drafted. He was from the Redskins.
No.
They haven't drafted a middle linebacker in forever that had an impact on this football team.
And that's why I'm excited about this next coming draft season. I know it's like we have a whole season in front of us. I'm optimistic, but realistically, I'm looking towards the future with all the pieces we've put into our organization. I really think we could have a chance to really be a very dominant, not just good, dominant team for the next 5-8 years, I would say, after this season, that is, from 2020 on.
I think the Giants are building the team the right way, much like the Cowboys did a few years ago when they built up that offensive line. They got the quarterback on a rookie contract. They got the standout running back. I think the Giants could be what the Cowboys are now as soon as next year, possibly. I'm not saying it will happen, but with all the cap space they're going to have, if they draft well, if these guys mature like we think they could, the Giants could be a very competitive football team next year. And definitely, I think they're going to have, even if they're not to that point yet next year, I think the year after they certainly will be. And I think they're going to have a 2 or 3, maybe even a 4-year stretch where they have an opportunity to compete for a Super Bowl. I think Gettleman's building the team the right way, and I'm really excited about it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. If we see one, we're going to see another one in close fashion, just like we did, 10 years ago. So
I hope so, man.
I
tell you,
believe it. Mark it.
I know you're a Yankee fan. You're a Yankee fan, right?
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah.
I'm a Met fan and a Knicks fan. So the only championship I've ever seen, because I was born in 85, I don't count 86, were the 2 Giants Super Bowls. And that feeling I got that night, the first one, I always say I don't think I'll ever have another sports memory like that. I mean, that was incredible. It was.
I was with Patriots fans because, that was when I was living back in Connecticut. I was with Patriots fans on both those Super Bowls. And to see, the energy in the room from one side to the next was just unreal. I have those Super Bowls, just ingrained into my memory. I can remember smells from that day. Everybody talks about, where were you at, Kennedy's assassination or, 9/11, all these, big standout events. For me, it's the Super Bowls. I remember every detail of those days.
Oh, my God. That was just incredible to watch that because it was so unexpected. And the best if the Patriots win that game, they go down as the greatest team of all time. And nobody gave us a chance. And, that whole run, it wasn't even just them. The Green Bay game, -30. It's just magical. I don't think that'll ever be duplicated. It was incredible.
No, it can't.
Yeah, just incredible. The line of events and everything. But, Rudy, anything else, my man?
No, man, I'm about to go grub and get some clothes on and step out for the night.
Enjoy are you going on your date?
No, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Tonight, tonight is the boys' night. So.
All right. Good luck with the date tomorrow night. Enjoy your night, buddy.
All right, brother. Be good.
Rudy's the man. Thank you for calling in, Rudy. Rudy's the man. Once again, thank you to everybody for tuning in. What's going on, Vinny Piro? Eric is still in the house. They are, GOAT. The New England Patriots are the 54th best team who's ever played, GOAT, because they didn't win a championship. There's 53 champions in this league. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's going on, Tina? How are you?
What is going on, Brandon Rogers? Thank you for tuning in.
Tina, how are you today? How was your day?
It was good, man. Worked, got home, talking Giants football with you. Well, with not just you, everybody in the chat. Always like talking to you, Brandon. Know you're a big Seahawks fan.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm trying to talk about the West tonight with you, but I'm very optimistic about us this year because since we're in the rumors for Clowney, right? And if we get him, I think with Jaron Reed coming out of the suspension, 4 games, with Ziggy Ansah, Cassius Marsh, I think our D-line is pretty well stacked. If we get him, though. But I don't know if John Snyder is going to pay the whole price for Clowney, but, our defense is, our secondary is pretty young still, and we don't have a lot of experienced veterans in the secondary. Bradley McDougall, Shaquille Griffin's been playing good for us. He's not a veteran, though, but, we should have guys that step up this year, like Trey Flowers, hopefully he can make some plays for us. And, but I think if we do get Clowney, I think it opens up the offense for us a bit more because, that sounds strange, right? But I think that we can pass the ball more because we do have a defensive line then that could stop the run. So we could open up the offensive playbook more instead of just running the ball, keeping the defense off the field, winning the time possession. But, we're going to have to do that against the Rams. We're going to have to keep grinding the ball versus their defense, make them tired because, they have one of the best defenses. Same with the Niners, We're just going to have to keep...
I'm gonna stick with what I always say every time we talk about the Seahawks. Your guys' bread and butter, Russell Wilson was incredible last year, but the reason he was as good as he was, the reason he had the best year he's ever had in terms of efficiency was because of how well you guys run the football. And I would not try to get away from that. I think that's your guys' game. I think that's why you guys were so successful last year. I don't think you guys have the talent to be a shooted-out football team. I think you guys need to need to do what you did last year. You need to win the time of possession so your defense is strong at the end of the game and that offense is worn out on the other side of the football. That's what you need to do. And that's what I think you guys need to stick to this year. And if you do that, you'll be good.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We do not have the pass weapons like we did last year, with Doug Baldwin. We added DK, and we do have Tyler Lockett, David Moore. We have Will Dissly, our tight end, coming back from injury. He did show some flashes last year in Week 1 versus Denver, which I liked. And, the offensive line is still intact. You know what I mean? With Dwayne Brown, Justin Britt, Jermaine Ifedi, DJ Fluker. We got Ipita from the Cardinals coming over to us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Rashad Penny is going to need to step up because we can't put all of it on Carson. You know what I mean? Because if Carson carries all the workload.
You guys didn't, if I remember correctly, you guys didn't put it all on Carson last year. You guys spread it around in terms of carries. I think you had 2 1,000-yard rushers or damn near close.
Because we had Mike Davis. We had Mike Davis, Rashad Penny, and Chris Carson. We had 3 solid options. Penny came on more towards the end of the season. But what I think needs to happen is he needs to step up. And, especially against teams like the Rams, the top defenses in the league, because we're in a pretty stacked division if you look around with the defenses because the 49ers added to their defense. The Rams still have a whole bunch of talent on the defense, which I think the Rams are still going to beat us out for the division, honestly. The Rams' talent, though, is phenomenal. It honestly is. They have Cooper Kupp coming back. They have Brandon Cooks. Their tight end situation is a bit shaky with Tyler Higbee, and they lost Roger Saffold.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the Rams offense is still intact pretty well, and they do have Sean McVay calling it. And on the other side of the ball, they had Wade Phillips calling it, one of the probably the best defensive coordinator in football, in my opinion. And then when you look at the Niners with, go ahead.
What I'm going to say about the Rams, it seems like I talked to a lot of people. Goat's one of them. A lot of people seem to be down on the Rams this year. I don't see it.
Yeah,
I still think McVay is one of the best coaches in football.
Yeah.
I still believe in that team. I think the Rams win that division. I don't understand why people are down on them. I think they win that division.
I agree with you on that because they still have Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers on that defensive line. The linebacking court, they lost to Marcus Joyner, but they added Clay Matthews and they still have Dante Fowler Jr. So the Rams defense is still intact. I mean, granted that they were giving up a lot a good amount of scoring to teams last year. They were around 30, 28 points a game, But when I look at the 49ers, right, they added D Ford, they added Tevin Coleman, they got Jimmy G coming back.
Bosa.
They got the linebacker from the Buccaneers, Quan Alexander.
Yep.
I mean, their team is pretty solid, I think.
The Niners to me are kind of like the Browns, where they haven't proven anything yet, but they have a lot on paper. They have a lot of talent. I think it's a very similar situation.
Yeah, and I think we do have a good shot to beat the Rams this year in both meetings. I don't see us beating them in LA, just because it's because last year when we played the Rams twice, we lost combined 7 points in both meetings combined.
Right.
So what that comes down to is the Seahawks need to be more efficient with the offense. Schottenheimer needs to call it consistently. And I mean, I think we're a 10-6 team or 11-5. I think our ceiling is probably 12-4. I think so.
Wow.
If everything falls right.
Wow.
If everything falls right. But I see us as
I could look like a
10-6,
fool.
11-5.
I'll tell you, I could look like a fool because your Seahawks made me look like a fool last year. I thought you guys were going to be bad last year. I think you're going to be bad again. Not bad. I think you'll be like 7 or 8 wins.
But I'm only saying 12-4 just because of the offense. I do not think the defense can hold up because we have Jaron Reed out for 4 games. So 12-4 is a bit optimistic.
You can never count out Russell Wilson. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Yeah,
he could win 4 or 5 games by himself. So regardless of what the team is around him, you guys could easily win 10 games. I'd be shocked if you win 12, especially in the West. The NFC is brutal. I'd be shocked.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only saying that just because of our offense, and I'm not fully satisfied on the defense yet, just because we don't have a lot of secondary depth. Bradley McDougall, with Trey Flowers, we lost Justin Coleman, but I feel like if everything falls right, you know what I'm saying. But I think the Niners are 7-9, 8-8 team. I think the Rams are possibly 12-4 or 13-3. Just because of the talent that they have.
Yeah, I got the Rams right around 12. I'll say this: I got the Rams.
Yeah.
I got the Rams right around 12-4, and I think I got the Niners and Seahawks both around 8-8. That would be my prediction going into the year. I think the Rams maybe a 9-7 from one of them. Maybe the Seahawks win 9. Maybe the Niners win 9. But I got the Rams winning that division by at least 2 games. At least 2 games.
Yeah, and well, I'll just give you this, and then I'll get off because I know we might get to some other callers. But I'm not sold on Shanahan and Garoppolo yet. They haven't done a lot together. Pete Carroll and Russell have done a lot. Sean McVay and Goff have done a lot. It's just hard to say if Jimmy G and Garoppolo will stay consistent. But they do have the offensive pieces with Coleman, McKinnon, Breida. They have Dante Pettis, the wide receiver.
Like I said, the Seahawks Niners on paper rather. They're much like the Browns. A lot of talent.
Yeah.
Got to show it to me first.
Yeah, I get you on that.
Yeah, you
no
know
doubt.
what I'm saying? But, Brandon, I want to say thank you for the call. Always like talking to you about the NFC West, and thank you for being a great subscriber.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Chris, having me on. As always, we'll be talking more football during the season.
For sure.
And, appreciate you as always,
I
always love tuning into these,
I always appreciate you. I always appreciate you tuning in. You bring a lot to the conversation.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it for sure. And come baseball, though. Come October, we'll be talking about that even more. You need a baseball call-in for sure.
But playoff baseball, I'll call-in show.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Brandon.
All right, yeah. I'll be in the chat. Yeah, peace out, bro.
All right, my man. What's going on, Rudy the Gamer? Thank you for tuning in to the stream, my man. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, you know this. You know who this is, Mr. Chris. Big money.
What is going on? Thank you for calling in, my man. What is going on,
man,
Darnell? How you been?
Finally got home from work, man. I'm good, man. I was like, I kept trying. I was like, damn, people not playing today. It's Friday. They calling in today, boy.
It's Friday. The Giants coming off a 4-0 preseason. We got the Cowboys on deck. We're pumped up.
Dude, did you like? I mean, I loved it, man. That last touchdown, then they all ran on the field, man. I couldn't stop getting that image out of my head, man. Real talk.
Man, I love. One thing I'm going to say about this team: win, lose, or draw, no matter what the record is, it is so nice to have a freaking team.
Yes.
Like, this team likes each other. They want to play with each other. They're building the team the right way. I'm happy. I'm happy about the direction.
Listen. I ain't gonna front. I know you don't like Odell Beckham. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. That was our guy. You know, he was Odell Beckham. I'm not gonna lie. He did do some great things for us, man. I mean, I'm gonna miss him. I am gonna miss him. But I feel like this team is really like, okay, it's real hush hush. You know, it's not like when Odell was here, where everybody was like, yeah, okay, what he's gonna do now? What's this? What's that? You know what I'm saying? It's no more of that. Right. You know, we got that, and I see what Gettleman is doing. I'm like, I really see the picture now. I see the big picture.
There's no more drama. There's no more drama.
Yeah, no more drama. There you go. No more drama. There's no more drama in this locker room, man. And I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Man, I can't wait for the season to start.
Oh man, look back at that. We're not winning the Super Bowl this year, but look back at Tiki Barber. Once he left, the drama went away, and Eli started to progress. The team started to progress, and I always say,
we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we won the Super Bowl. We won the Super Bowl, and he, had he stayed one more year, he'd be in Canton. But I always say football is much more of a team sport than any four of the major sports. And yes, talent is necessary, but I think it's at least equally as important to have a good locker room, a team that plays together, a cohesive team. And the Giants have not had that for, in my opinion, since Beckham's been there.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, it's like a total different atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though, he was, like I said, he was the main attraction. He was everything. And everything we got Saquon Barkley in it. Saquon Barkley, I'm not even going to lie. Saquon Barkley, he's that guy that you want to build a team around. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's one of those guys that, okay, this is the guy that we need to build our team around. He's good off the field, on the field. I mean, he's a family man now. It's like, that's the guy. You know what I mean? And he says all the right things. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a little swag because he is starting to show a little swagger because during practice, during the camps, you would see him like he'll start talking and I'm like, oh, okay, Saquon got a little, he got a little spark to him. You know what I mean?
You got a little confidence. I like it. And he came out and said he was the best running back in football the other day.
Oh yeah. That's another thing I wanted to hit you with. I was like, so what do you think about that?
Oh, you know how I feel about Saquon Barkley. I don't even think it's close. I mean, people are going to tell me Zeke. People, because he's been in the league for 3 years. Okay, let's go over Zeke. Because that's the guy I usually hear, right? That's the guy I usually hear. 2 years ago, Zeke averaged 4.1 yards a carry behind the second-rated. You could tell me whatever. Regardless, they were a well above average offensive line. Behind a top 6-7 offensive line at the worst. Zeke averaged 4.1 yards a carry. Last year, Barkley averaged 5.1 yards a carry behind the 21st ranked offensive line in football. He's got the hands of a wide receiver. They're not even close. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't care that Zeke's been in the league for 3 years, 4 years, and Barkley's only been doing it for 1. Barkley's the best running back in football, and it's not even close.
Thank you. And I swear, I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle with my guys, man. I mean, Zeke is the man. Oh, you don't know. Saquon just had 1 year. I'm like, yo, dog, did you see the man? Did you see what he did? He barely had anything. He didn't have a line.
Give exactly what John Abrams said. Put Barkley behind the Cowboys offensive line. He averages 6 yards a carry.
Yes.
He averages 6 yards a carry.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely. I was watching Skip and Shannon, and Skip, he can't stand. I swear he can't stand this, man. Skip Bayless, he cannot stand this. But even Shannon's like, Saquon Barkley, something different, man. He said, you take Saquon Barkley and put him behind Dallas line. Oh my goodness, he had 2,000-3,000 yards, a couple of thousand yards carries.
Yeah, he's a monster. He's an absolute monster, and he's gonna be, as long as he, knock on wood, as long as he stays healthy. Saquon Barkley could end up being the greatest running back who ever lived. That's how talented this guy is. He's got to stay healthy, but he is that good. He's that good.
Barry Sanders even quoted. Now you say the great Barry Sanders. If he quotes something, now you got to listen to it. He was like, yeah. This kid different. He different. Like this is somebody that he says it's like looking in the mirror. You look at Boston.
He's Barry Sanders with muscle.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
You know, he's got the moves like Barry. He's quick as Barry, athletic, elusive, and he's strong. So, and he's got hands. Barry wasn't much of a a pass catcher.
No, he wasn't.
He's got it all, man, and he's gonna carry this team for a long time. I can't wait.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, man, I can't wait for this. Next Sunday, Dallas. We're gonna see what we got. We got a 4:15 game. I'm about to put my red zone back on because I got a red zone off right now. Red zone back on. I do the fantasy football too.
How's your team looking? How's your team looking?
Oh, right now we didn't draft yet, so we usually wait till the season after week 4 with the preseason. You know, right now, cause, hey, look what happened to Andrew Luck. Right. I know a guy that they just did their fantasy, and one of the guys in this group picked Andrew Luck, and come to find out when Luck retired, I mean, the dude's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Andrew Luck, Lamar Miller's down for the count.
And he had Miller. And he had Miller from Texas.
Oh, my God.
Yes, he had both of them.
Oh, my God. Talk about bad luck. And Goat, I see you ask who uses fullbacks nowadays. The Giants do. They got Elijah Penny. So the Giants are one of the teams that do use a fullback.
Okay, good. But you said Pat Shermer, he loves the fullbacks.
Pat Shermer loved the fullback. They brought Red Ellison in for that role last year when they signed that big contract. They thought he'd be playing some fullback as well as tight end. He loves 2 tight end sets. He loves max protection. He's a lot of people think Pat Shermer's this passing guy. The Vikings had the 4th most rushing attempts. Last year he was there with that with that offensive system. He likes to run to stop the pass. Yeah.
Who was they 2 guys? They had McKenzie. Was it McKenzie? The running back. It had 2 running backs.
McKinnon.
The other one got McKinnon, and there's another one. Was it
Murray? Latavius Murray, I think.
Murray. Yes. So those 2. Because remember, they lost Cook. I remember they lost Cook.
Yeah.
I had him in my fantasy. I almost lost my mind when I lost him. I remember that. And then he made it somehow he made that shit work between those 2. And I mean, look how far the Vikings went when he had him.
Yeah, they got this close to going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very happy to have I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody doesn't like Pat Shermer or whatever. I get it, but you got to get a guy a chance. This is going into his 2nd year as the Giants head coach, and he really hasn't made any stupid moves, like, besides, the other bullshit.
Pat Shermer was shaky to me last year. I like Pat Shermer. He had moments where I liked him, moments where I didn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand, and maybe part of the reason was because the offensive line was so poor in the first half of the year. I could not understand why it took him so long to make that adjustment from bringing Eli Manning from shotgun to under center. Because we know throughout Eli Manning's entire career, he's always played better under center.
Absolutely.
But maybe, like I said, they were so bad at blocking. Maybe that was the reason. But you saw them play so much better when they brought Eli Manning under center in that second half last year.
Absolutely, because that, like you said, that's why Eli favors the most under center. I mean, he's under center. That play action right into that run, like, okay, do the run, then you hit him with that play action. That's Eli.
Yep.
I mean, Coughlin was doing that shit from jump. He won a couple of Super Bowls with that, don't you think?
That's his bread and butter, man. The play action rollout with Eli, that's where he's comfortable. And I expect, and somebody asked me if I'm doing AJ Marshall this year. I'm going to be doing a lot of play-by-play. Every Giants game. We're going to be alternating channels. I'm sure you're probably a subscriber of Bad Dog as well. I'll be doing it with Bad Dog every Giants game. Monday night games, I'll try to do them when I can. Sunday night game, I'm going to be doing a lot of play-by-play this year. So definitely AJ Marshall for sure.
Okay,
and,
definitely. I'll be on it.
I know you will. You're freaking awesome. You're freaking awesome, man.
But,
anything else, my man?
Like I said, besides that, I don't want to lead a conversation, but the Mets, we finally got off the bandwagon.
Unfortunately, it's a little too late. I think. I hope I'm wrong.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I was at the game yesterday. I was gonna send a little messenger to you on Instagram. I was like, I'm at the game, but it ain't looking too good.
Oh yeah. Oh, you went to the game? Yeah, I gotta go to a Met game before the season's over. I went to 2 so far this year, but yeah. How far are they out now?
That was my second one. Right now we looking like I think 6 games up.
Oh my
It was
God, is it
6
that
games.
much? Oh
We were
man.
right behind.
Oh, because we
But
got
thank
swept by
God
the
we beat
Cubs.
the
Yeah.
Phillies.
Yeah,
Because
we're in
the
trouble.
Cubs,
We're in trouble.
the Cubs killed them. But right now we got to win. We damn near got to win 7 to 8 straight.
Yeah, we got to go on
Just to,
another 9 out of 10 type run to even get ourselves back in the conversation.
See, my problem is we don't have. Okay, we have the bat. I think we do have the bats, but I don't know what it is that we're not seeing to where. Okay, we're getting hits, but we're not getting the clutch hits. That's the problem.
And our bullpen sucks.
You know what I'm saying?
Our bullpen sucks.
Oh, our bullpen. Oh, forget about it. I'm not gonna get into our bullpen.
Yeah.
But but I ain't gonna lie. The last this game right here, the last game we just had. I'm talking about not the one tonight, the one before when I was at.
Right.
I mean, the bullpen. I seen Familia coming. I was like, oh yeah, we gonna blow this shit. As soon as I saw Familia come in, and all of a sudden he held us down. I was like, oh shit. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But where's the hell are the bats?
Nope.
So it's like one day we have the bats, the next day we don't have the bats. We have the pitching. I mean, we got to figure out how to get this shit together.
That's the
we're
problem
on
with the Mets, man. They can't put it all. But the one thing I'll say about the Mets and thinking a glass half full approach, they definitely have a very good young nucleus in terms of the lineup, and they still have that strong starting pitching. If they could sort out the bullpen in the offseason, they're going to be really good next year. So we'll see how it works out. But McNeil, I think, is for real for sure. Alonso's for real. Conforto, just stay healthy. We'll have Nimmo back.
I think Davis too. Davis too.
Yeah, Rosario. Rosario's been hot as hell.
Oh yeah, he's been clutch a lot lately. He had a big hit today.
Yeah,
he drove in too with the bases loaded.
So I'm optimistic about the Mets next year. This year, I think it's over. But
yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. See, I know other people are trying to call in, but I was like, man, I got.
No, I always love when you call in, man. I just try to get everybody in before the end of the show. But Darnell, man, thank you so much for being such a great part of my channel. Thank you for being a great subscriber.
Always good, man. Like I said, man, as long as I see you keep doing your thing. You already know, man. You got my support. Hopefully we get you going. Hopefully you get on the radio or whatever, ESPN. Never know, brother.
From your lips to God's ears. From your lips to God's ears, Darnell.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. All right, man. You take it easy, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the call.
No doubt.
All right. I think this might be the sports critic.
Well.
You're
absolutely correct for once.
What is going on, Amir?
Nothing, man. What's going on with you, bro?
Just chilling, hanging out, Friday night, talking sports with some of the best people on YouTube. What's up, my man? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I didn't even get a notification that you were live, but I went to my subscription, saw that you were live, and I saw that you were doing a call-in show.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm surprised. By the way, Harley, I'm surprised nobody's called about that. Brandon Marshall getting released by Denver. I think the Giants should at least consider it. If he could pass a physical and he's healthy, I think it makes a lot of sense because they're thin there at that middle linebacker spot. I think it would make sense.
Yes, I see. Yeah, it actually wouldn't be a bad move for the Giants.
He's got to be healthy, of course. Yeah, so what's up, buddy?
I got to say, I'm really excited for the Giants season. More than I thought I was going to be now. I know it's just preseason, so I'm not getting my hopes too high. But the fact that Ezekiel holding out, I mean, how good are the Cowboys going to be without Ezekiel?
Well, I mean, let's be fair. I still think the Cowboys are a good football team without Ezekiel. They're not as good.
They're not a playoff team, though, without him.
I think they're a fringe playoff team without him. I think they're like a 9-win team without him because they still have when healthy. You got to remember Frederick was out all of last year, arguably their best offensive lineman. When they're healthy, that offensive line makes that team go, and I could stick you behind there. You're going to average 4 yards a carry. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's the thing. They still have a really strong offensive line. I still think Pollard will be effective behind it. It's just he's not going to be Zeke. So, yeah, obviously it's a good thing for the Giants if Zeke doesn't play.
There were times last year, if you watch the Cowboys games where they were losing, and I'm not saying that it was just Ezekiel Elliott. Of course, Amari Cooper helped out a lot too, but he was really changed the game for that team. He's a difference maker. Now you can put another running back and he'll be good too, but it's a little bit like he's an X factor,
Right. Oh, he's their best player on offense. He's their best.
Yeah,
he's their best skill position player. No doubt about it.
I mean, like I agree with you. They're still going to be good, but I think that if they don't have Ezekiel Elliott, I think the Eagles will take the division if they miss him for some games.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, man. We'll have to wait and see. But do me a favor, guys. If you haven't done so, please hit that thumbs up. And go ahead and check out the Sports Critic, by the way. He always shows me a lot of support. Always comes on. He's a great caller.
Yes.
He'll pop back in the chat, I'm sure. After, make sure to go out over and check out his channel.
Yeah.
But what do you think about it? So you think we got a good shot based on what you're saying against the Cowboys if Zeke doesn't play?
I said this too. I said I can actually see the Giants winning Week 1 without it. If the I don't think we'll win, but I'm saying there's more of a chance of us winning, obviously, with Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, of course.
And I'm not like, you know me, I'm not like a homer. I really support Giants, my favorite team. But I would say that, it's a divisional game, and we always play the Cowboys tough. So I definitely could see us sneaking a win. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I could see it more likely now.
I could see it. Divisional games are always up for grabs. I don't care how good
Exactly.
one team is and the other isn't. They're divisional games for a reason. And they're always up for grabs. We've seen a lot of crazy things happen in the NFL when it comes to divisional games. So I definitely give the Giants a puncher's chance regardless of whether Zeke plays or he doesn't. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to be a blow-up by any stretch. I think the Giants are going to keep this close whether Zeke plays or whether he doesn't.
I still think the Cowboys will win, but I think it'll be a lot closer than people are expecting. I don't expect a blowout either.
No, it's not going to be a blowout. It's not going to be a blowout.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, it's divisional, and we always play the Cowboys tough. And usually we take one game from the Cowboys.
GoPro, the last 4 games we haven't. But,
Yeah.
But I mean, it goes in cycles. We swept them in 2016. Maybe we're doing at least one this year. We'll see.
Yeah, and I think Week 1, if the Giants come out prepared, who knows? They can probably sneak a win. That'd be really, really awesome to see. If the Giants could beat the Cowboys, oh my God, that'd be great.
Oh, it changes the whole outlook of the season. It changes the entire outlook of the season if the Giants find a way to win.
Because, Week 1 also, when you start with momentum like that, that's always a positive for your team.
Right, of course. And then they got 3 winnable games after that.
Exactly.
Maybe it balloons into something.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, how long do you think what do you call it? Do you think Eli will play well this year?
Yeah, I do. I've said that now for a few weeks. I think that Eli is going to play well this year. It may not result in wins. We'll have to wait and see with that. But I do think Eli's going to play well because I've said this for years. I think I'm not saying he's going to be Drew Brees, but I think Eli, when you provide him with protection, I still think he could get the job done. I'm not saying he's going to be what he was 5, 6, 7 years ago, but I still think he could be at least an average quarterback when you provide him with protection. I think Eli's going to have a solid year.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. And the reason I say this is not to hate on Odell, but the fact that he was just forcing the ball to him, I feel like, and now he can just be free and throw it to whoever he wants. Saquon gets another year under his belt. That's going to be helpful. I think the defense is better, too, with the draft as well for the Giants.
Yeah.
I think they definitely should win more games than last year.
I worry a little bit about the young secondary. They've been getting picked on, and I think they're going to have their struggles. But, that's to be expected. For the Giants to have an okay defense this year, those pass rushers are going to have to get home. Marcus Golden's going to have a good year. The X-Men's going to have a good year. Lorenzo Carter, they're going to have to come up with some sacks. Last year, the first half of the season, they only had 9 sacks as a team. That's embarrassing. So the second half they got after the quarterback better. This year they're going to have to get a decent amount of sacks if this team wants to be competitive because that secondary is not going to hold up early on. They're inexperienced.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest worry.
Yeah, and my thing is I want to see Eli play for as long as he can because I want Daniel Jones, honestly, to develop. I mean, what is your thoughts on that? If he didn't even start this year, I'd be okay with it, to be honest. Unless we're, really out of it. What do you think?
Well, yeah, a lot of people think just throw Daniel Jones into the fire, and I get it. You know, there's been examples of quarterbacks that are young that do good when you just throw them out on the fire. But I could give you examples of quarterbacks who do good, like Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes, when they don't get just thrown into the fire. So I think Eli's here for a reason. Otherwise, they would have just cut bait. So use him. Use him for what, use him for Daniel Jones to learn underneath him.
Exactly.
I think it makes perfect sense for Eli to play at least half the season, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Try to get like at least half the season for Eli, and if they keep winning, just stick with him. Like, there's no reason to like go to Daniel Jones if they're winning and just ride the hot hand. That's my opinion.
Well, they will. if they're winning, Eli's going to will play the year. If they're not, Daniel Jones will see the field at some point.
Yeah. But man, I just hope that like they don't rush Daniel Jones, because I don't think they will. I don't think they will. The Giants are a smart organization. They're not dumb. They're not going to rush Daniel. There's a reason they kept Eli. I don't think they're going to rush him. Like even I have to admit, I wasn't the biggest Daniel Jones fan, but I'm liking what I saw from preseason. I know it's just preseason, but it's still something. Like, the throws were still pretty accurate, and had good zip. So I like that. So
he had zip. He threw a tight spiral.
Yeah.
You have to like what you've seen out of Daniel Jones in the preseason.
I do.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is the offensive line. I just hope the offensive line can hold up. You know?
And I think they will. I think the offensive line will be at least average this year, and we're going to see a big improvement. But I'm going to let you go because I'm sure there's a couple people trying to call in. I try to get everybody in. But Amir, man, thank you so much for being a great part of the sports community, and thank you for calling in, buddy.
Of course. Yeah, no problem, man. Take care. Have a good night, and let's go Giants.
Let's go Giants, man, and enjoy the games on Thursday. Enjoy the game on Thursday.
Can't wait.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right, my man. All right. We got another caller. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Hello?
Hey, it's Sarah.
Sarah Small?
Okay, so I'm just going to come out and say this. We had such a great date together, and I thought we were really clicking, and then you just ghosted me. What the hell?
This is a prank call from a female caller, but I appreciate that. How are you doing, Sarah? I never went on a date with Sarah.
It's really awful that you enjoy playing with people's hearts like this.
I know. Tell me about it, Sarah.
For months.
I apologize.
Do you even care?
I apologize.
You're horrible.
I know I am. I know I am.
I got a tattoo of your Camaro on my butt for you.
You got a tattoo of... I don't have a Camaro, but if I did, I'd appreciate that.
You weigh a lot.
What is that?
Low.
This is a fun prank call, actually. Usually people call with stupidity. This is fun.
Apologize.
What you got?
I don't want to talk anymore.
You don't want to talk anymore?
Goodbye.
I'd love to talk. Oh,
just been pranked. Courtesy of prankowl.com.
Good job, prankowl.com. All right. Next caller. What is going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris, what's going on?
What's going on? Who's this?
Hey, this is Ronnie Broadway again.
Ronnie Broadway, great subscriber of mine. What's going on, my man?
Nothing much, man. Chris, let me tell you, man, I've been hearing some of these calls, and I'm just, listen, I want to keep the positivity kind of going, but I'm gonna have to pop some balloons tonight, buddy. Because let me.
Before you get started, I just want to say thank you, Batgirl, for the super chat. It says best call ever. Thank you, Batgirl. Again, thank you very much. You've been incredible. Thank you. But Ronnie, I'm kind of with you. I think some people, not everybody's been a little overly optimistic. I get what you're saying here. Let's get into it.
Listen, Batgirl's going to be a little disappointed with this call, but yeah, like you said, let's go ahead and get into it. Listen, I'm happy, just like the rest of us, that we went 4-0 in the preseason. You know, I'm happy with the fact that, not so much with the win and loss column, but with the fact that we've seen some players who look like they can play. great. Daniel Jones, he looks like a player. The kid from Clemson, I keep forgetting his name, but the defensive tackle, he looks
Dexter
like he's
Lawrence.
a player.
Dexter Lawrence.
Thank you so much, Dexter Lawrence. We got some guys who look like they can play, but hold on. Let's temper. Let's hold this back a little bit. I see I see folks online saying that, all you guys who are Daniel Jones haters, look, he got us to a 4-0 preseason record, as if somehow we're supposed to put that on some mantle.
Yeah,
and say,
Ronnie, I got to tell you, and Amir, thank you for the super chat. He says, thanks for taking my call. Always fun talking to you. Going over there and subscribe to him. I got to tell you, I completely agree with you. I'm encouraged by Danny Jones. Some of the throws Danny Jones made were very, very encouraging, and he was impressive, no doubt about it. But I agree with you. I'm not ready to be completely sold on him yet. I got to see it when it matters in a game where we're going up against a good defense, where they have a read on the kid. I like what I've seen, but I'm not going to say that he's the next great quarterback. I've been fooled before with preseason quarterbacks. So I agree with you. I'm going to be diligent. I'm going to be responsible as a fan and take it day by day. But he's definitely got tools.
Absolutely. The kid's got tools. You can tell when you see him play. But, we know in the preseason, Chris, that teams in the preseason are not scheming against you. Everything is vanilla. Everything is basic. They're not hitting you off with schemes and all kinds of stuff like they do in the regular season. So I want to see Daniel Jones play against a defense, a solid defense who's scheming against him, who's scheming against his weaknesses, who are trying to take his best options away from him. I want to see Daniel Jones against a legit defense, or even it doesn't even have to be the best defense in the league, just a team with the starters in the game. That's what I want to see. And then if he does well against those guys, then I'll say, okay, we've got a keeper. Which brings me to my next point, since I speak about Daniel Jones. I, for one, believe that Daniel Jones should play and start week 1 against the Cowboys. Yes, I'm going to say it, buddy. He should start week 1 over Eli. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks in this league who have come in from college, played week 1, and have gone on to have good careers. Cam Newton.
Oh, there's plenty. Matt Ryan. There's plenty.
Right. So
I get what you're saying, and a lot of people have your mindset on that. A lot of people think you should start day 1, and I get what you're saying, but why is Eli on this team then?
But I think the reason why Eli's on this team, and I've gotten a lot of flack for this, but I'm gonna share it with you. I think the reason why Eli's on this team is out of sentimentality reasons. I think the organization feels like they owe it to Eli because of what he's done for this team. So which leads me to believe is this. Since the team is willing to keep Eli based off of what he's accomplished in the past, it seems like to me that they don't really care if we have a losing season. They just want to extend a hand of gratitude to Eli. Hey, Eli, listen, you won us a couple of chips. We respect you. They weren't going to cut him. I knew they weren't going to cut him when everybody was saying, oh, they're going to cut Eli. They weren't going to cut him. Too much respect. So they kept him out of respect because of what he's done for us. We drafted a successor because we needed a guy. We knew Lauletta wasn't the answer. We draft Jones. We keep Eli out of respect. But I believe the Giants organization doesn't really care about winning this year because the type of team that we have, as you said earlier to another caller, we're not winning the Super Bowl this year. We just don't have the team ready to do that yet.
No, but you got to be realistic. Right.
I believe there'll be some games where we'll compete. We're going to compete against our division rivals. I don't think we're going to sweep Philly. I don't think we're going to sweep Dallas.
No.
We'll probably sweep the Reds.
We'll be lucky. Listen, if we split with Dallas and Philly, I'll sign up for that right now.
Right. Hey, you give me that. I'll take that any day of the week. I personally think we'll lose 2 to Philly. I hate the Eagles with a passion, brother. I hate them, but I know we're going to lose. We're going to lose twice to those guys. That's what I feel. I think we'll split against the Cowboys and we'll beat the Redskins twice, but we're going to struggle. We're going to struggle. And here's my thing. I think, and I'll let you get your point in if you have one. If we start Daniel Jones, right, we have a weak schedule this year. If we start Daniel Jones against a weak schedule, what will it hurt?
Oh, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but it could. I'm not saying it will. It could hurt because I could go back and look at the course of history. I think the Giants are in a much better situation, so this may be a poor example. But look at David Carr. David Carr came into the league and he got wrecked his first year. And I always thought David Carr had a lot of talent, and I thought had he been given the right support system, maybe he learned under a veteran, or they had a much better offensive line, he might have been a good quarterback in the NFL. You look at Alex Smith. Alex Smith struggled for the first half of his career because they rushed him into the fire. They didn't have a good support system to support him. So if the Giants don't feel like they have the right pieces to support Daniel Jones early on in his career, I hate to say this, but they may even view it like, even if they think Jones is better, they may use Eli Manning as a punching bag in a way, to protect Daniel Jones from losing his confidence early on in his career.
No, hey, listen, I agree. If we didn't have the pieces around Daniel Jones this year, and we put him out there, yeah, okay, it's a big mistake. Don't put him out there. But I think right now we have an offensive line that's better than the offensive line David Carr had when he had coming in the league.
It's not even comparable. But thank you so much, LA Luke, for the super chat. He says Batgirl call. I would love to talk to Batgirl. Yeah, but no, I and thank you again. Yeah, no, I think they obviously have a much better situation with Saquon Barkley as well. I get where you're going. Right. I think higher of Eli than you do, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think I still think Eli. I'm not saying he's what he was, but I personally think Week 1 Eli gives us the best chance to win. I really do believe that.
And I understand why you would think that way. I mean, Eli's been in the league a long time. He can read defenses better than Daniel Jones. I mean, he's played against the Cowboys a billion times. So he would give us, in the sense of experience, a better chance to win. But when I think of Eli, and correct me if I'm wrong here, what team has Eli, what elite team or what playoff team has Eli beaten since 2016? Right. Actually, we can go back further, because after the Super Bowl 2011, we had years when we couldn't beat any upper echelon team. And then 2016, we had that year we go to the playoffs, get ousted by Green Bay.
Right.
What team can we say that not just Eli, but the Giants in general has beaten quality teams?
You're right. I mean, I'll say this: 2015, they had a great offense. They had no defense. 2016, they had a great defense. They had no offense.
Right.
And 2017 and 2018 have just been a complete mess. 2017, everybody got hurt. Yeah, Eli Manning, he's the quarterback. He's going to take the blame, or he's going to take the most of the blame. And he deserves some of it. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, the Giants have not done a good job supporting him. I think you would agree with that. In terms of drafting offensive linemen, in terms of providing him with a defense over the last 6-7 years. Yes, I know that 2016 they had a good defense for 1 year when they went out and spent all that money because Jerry Reese couldn't draft to save his life. So I think it's a collective effort. And I get it. Eli Manning gets all the blame when they're bad, and he gets all the credit when they're good. I mean, when they won the Super Bowls, he got probably more credit than he deserved. I'll be the first to say it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It wasn't all of Eli's fault, and I want to make that clear. It wasn't all his fault. But there were times when the offensive line did protect him, and he couldn't complete a routine slant pass, or he couldn't complete those routine deep balls that he used to in his prime. There were things Eli has shown us when he has gotten the time at this point that he isn't what he used to be. So, which brings me to this question: if we all know Eli's not what he used to be, and why would we continue to want him to stay on the roster for another 2 years, 3 years, and keep Daniel Jones on the bench?
This is Eli's last year. As a Giant, this is last year.
Thank the heavens. I think we ought to give him a great send-off.
Yeah.
Let's do the Derek Jeter thing where, this is the last hurrah season. I'm all for that. But I am ready to move on with the Daniel Jones era, because I think this kid, he has talent. I want to see him up against number one defenses. And if he can do well against them, hey, I'm sold. I don't think we make the playoffs this year. I think we're gonna struggle some here and there. Next year, whole different story with a lot of cap room, like you said before. And it's the sky's the limit for us. We have a bright future, but us being 4-0 in the preseason is all well and dandy, and whatever the case is. But guys, we are,
it means nothing.
We're in for, it means nothing. Hey, Chris, thank you for the call. Thank you for accepting the call, man. I love your show. I love what you're doing. I'm still going to support you and call in every Friday nights, right?
Yeah, well, it's, in season will be Mondays, because I'm going to do it the day after the game. So the in season will be Mondays.
Appreciate the call, man. Go Big Blue Machine.
You got it, Ronnie, man. Thank you so much for the call. Thank you for being such a great supporter, buddy.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, have a good one. Great caller. Love Ronnie. Great supporter of mine. I do appreciate it. Go ahead and call in. I know a couple. I think Sam. I don't know if he's still here. I can't just take specific people, but if you're still here, Sam, go ahead and call in. Seems like it's slowing down a little bit in terms of the callers. Eli is the one who put the one. Yes, Raphael, that is absolutely right. Next caller, you're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's up, Chris?
What's going on? Who's this?
It's Sam.
Sam, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Just getting ready for what I hope is a fun Giants season this year.
So I have a few things. Honestly, this year, even though I don't want to see another terrible year. I don't think nobody does. I think maybe not doing good this year and then having a good draft again this the 2020 season wouldn't hurt. Because I don't know.
I get the logic. I'm never gonna root for my team to lose ever. I know some people do because they want to get a high pick. But I get the logic. If they do bad, you're gonna get a high pick and you'll be able to get another top tier player. And I get it. They can't lose this year because there's no high expectations. Nobody thinks we're gonna. I'll tell you right now. Best case, we go 10-6, we make the playoffs, but we're not winning a Super Bowl. So yeah, I get it. If we win 3 or 4 games, we're gonna get another top tier player, and we build through the youth movement. So, and the following year will be really good, probably with the cap space.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how much you watch college football, but Alabama's star linebacker Dylan Moses tore his ACL, and it kind of reminds me of what Jalen Smith, what happened to him. He's supposed to come out this year. I think this might be a senior. I don't know. He's a 15 top 10 pick in the draft if he comes out healthy. And I think if he comes out, you could probably do what Cowboys did with Jalen Smith and get a linebacker in the second round.
Yeah, I think they need to take an early linebacker. They haven't done one in forever. Oh, thank you so much, Chip Kelly, for the super chat. He says, "You fellas mind if I slip off my trousers?" Do what you got to do. It's late, Chip Kelly. Stretch them out. Do what you got to do. But I've been saying for a while, I hope that the Giants use an early pick on a middle linebacker, whether it be a mid-first round pick, whether it be a early second round pick. They haven't drafted a middle linebacker in the first 2-3 rounds. It seems like in forever.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I didn't hate Jones out of college, but I was shocked that we didn't get Josh Allen or not Devin White, but even Devin Bush, because I understand the quarterback position, but let's say Jones doesn't start anyways. Would it really hurt to draft a linebacker this year and then have next year gotten a quarterback like Tua or Jake Fromm or Herbert?
Well, no. But you don't. The problem with that logic is you don't know where we're going to be drafting. The following year.
I guess.
Who know? You don't know. I mean, you might think we're going to win 4 games, but Giants could go out and win 9 or 10 games, and then that plan goes up in smoke. So that's why I think the Giants took a quarterback this year more so than anything else. Is they saw they were in a position to do it, and they liked the guy, and so they took him because they don't know where they're going to be in next year's draft.
And that's why we're not NFL GMs, because I don't think nobody. If anybody was running the Giants, a Giants fan, I don't think nobody would have taken Daniel Jones.
I agree. I'll be the first to tell you, Josh Allen was the slam dunk pick for me. I thought Josh Allen was the second best player in this year's draft behind Quinnen Williams. I would have been jumping for joy if the Giants took him. But at the end of the day, I always say this. If Daniel Jones even becomes a good quarterback, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care that we took him 6th overall. So Dave Gettleman's job relies on it now. At the end of the day, Pat Shurmur and Dave Gettleman, they're going to live and die with Daniel Jones. Period. End of story. They put their jobs on the line this draft.
I see a lot of resemblances in Daniel Jones. Well, I kind of see him as 2 quarterbacks. I see the way he throws the ball and how his accuracy and his arm strength, kind of like a Matt Ryan type quarterback. And then I think he has Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz as he could get out the pocket.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit. I could see a little Alex Smith Trubisky in his game too as well. Isaiah, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Bama linebackers don't pan out, stay away. What was the name of the Bama? There was a Bama linebacker this year that I thought the Giants could have taken I
Mac
think it was
Wilson.
Mac Wilson, right? Yeah, in the second round, I was thinking it was a possibility. He might have fallen to the third or fourth round.
No, we could have gotten him, but we chose I forgot what linebacker it was. The dude from Wisconsin.
Conley.
He was there in like the fourth round.
You talking about Conley, the guy we drafted?
Yeah, he was. We took Connolly over Mac Wilson.
Mac Wilson fell to the fifth round?
Yeah, Mac.
Holy crap.
Apparently, I'm pretty sure it was like a character issue or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but he fell.
Yeah, because I remember the early mock. Some people had him going late first, early second.
Yeah, and I don't know. I thought he could have helped this defense out a lot, but maybe I mean, you could say the same about what we said with Jones. We don't run an NFL.
Exactly.
We're not a
At
front
the end
office.
of the day, we're just fans. I'll be the first to tell you. I love doing this. I love talking about my football team, but I'm not an expert. I just I tell you guys what I think is the right decision, but I'm not always right.
Yeah, I've made a lot of I remember. I thought we were going to. I thought Eric Flowers was going to be a pretty good tackle, but we've all saw what that happened.
Yeah, I was encouraged with Eric Flowers' rookie year. I remember he played through injuries. I thought this was a tough guy, and we Eric Flowers, one of the worst picks in franchise history.
Now, do you play fantasy football?
I do, and a lot of people have been asking me to do a league. I may do a couple. I might do that this weekend. I might set that up where I live stream like 3 drafts or something with some subscribers. I might do that.
I need some help. I picked second in my draft this year.
Okay.
And my friend David, he's a huge Giants fan. I know Barkley's not going to be there. I'm thinking about it's between Kamara and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that would be who would be between for me. It's a PPR. Well, it doesn't matter. They're both great in PPR, but is it a PPR format?
Yeah, it's PPR.
Oh, that's tough. Kamara's going to get more of a workload this year.
Yeah, I've heard that McCaffrey's like not splitting carries, but they drafted somebody that could
most people seem to have McCaffrey as the clear number 2. I don't know though, because I like the fact that Kamara's getting a bigger workload. I also worry about Cam Newton there with the Panthers. If he goes down, C-Mac's value drops tremendously. So I think I'd be leaning Kamara actually, but I think most people would tell you C-Mac.
I was leaning more Kamara too because I don't know. I think the Saints' offensive line is better than the Panthers. I think Drew Brees, like you said, is probably going to be pretty reliable, like at least more than Cam Newton would be. And I don't know. I like Kamara. How do I say this? Christian McCaffrey, the only reason I'm thinking about him is because of what he brings in the passing game.
Well, they both do that. They're both great in the passing game.
Yeah, but didn't McCaffrey have like 107 catches last year
as
as a running back?
Yeah, he's an animal. C-Mac's great. I would just worry about Newton. I worry about Newton. Because if Newton goes down, a big part of that offense is the RPO. And if Newton goes down, that's gone. I mean, now you bring in Will Greer. He's not, he doesn't have the mobility of a Cam Newton.
All right, last thing. Do you watch Skip Bayless and Shannon's show?
I watch highlights. I don't watch ESPN that often.
Did you see what Skip said today or yesterday after week 4?
No. What did he say?
He said that Daniel Jones, from all of his time watching football, this was the greatest preseason performance by any quarterback ever.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I maybe how could you say that? The guy didn't even play first team defenses. I mean, I love Daniel Jones, but let's relax a little bit.
I wanted to see your takes on it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was phenomenal. He had an 85% completion percentage, but the guy didn't play his starting defense the whole time. I mean, I love him. I hope he's amazing. But I think people need to let it happen. Let it happen.
I mean, but it's not his fault he didn't play.
No, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He was great. He was fantastic. And I'm very encouraged by it. He looked better than I thought he would. No doubt about it. I think he's got the tools needed. I think his arm strength was underrated. We didn't even get to see the mobility part of his game. he definitely has a very, very high ceiling. He could be a very good quarterback in this league.
And
But to say it's the best preseason in the history of football when the guy didn't go up against a first-team defense is ridiculous.
And what we're forgetting is we haven't seen the RPO with Saquon Barkley yet. That's probably, I think, the best time to start Jones. And what I've noticed by watching preseason is it seems like him and Golden Tate have a pretty good connection together. I think that they might start on week 5 when Tate gets on, unsuspended.
It all depends on how the Giants are doing. It all depends on if they're 0-4, yeah, they're gonna. If they, even 1-3, it's possible.
Yeah, but we see what happened with Kurt Warner and Eli. We had a winning record that year.
We did, and I remember a lot of people were pissed off, but it obviously turned out to work out because Eli the next year let him do an 11-5 record that made the playoffs. Anything's possible. We'll have to wait and see. I'd be surprised because Kurt Warner's a different situation than Eli Manning. Eli Manning, 15-year veteran here. If they have a winning record, I'd be shocked if they bench Eli Manning.
I could see us, even if we're 2-2, that the fans will start saying that they want Jones, and I think that I don't know. I think it's more.
Oh no, I don't deny that. I think people are gonna. If we're 4-0, some people are gonna say they want Jones.
I just think it's more of the Mara family. I think if you gave Pat Shermer the decision right now, he definitely takes Daniel Jones.
You might be right. You might be right. We all know the
Maras
Maras are a very loyal family, whether it be to players, whether it be to coaches, whether it be to general managers. And obviously Mara's come out and said he hopes Eli starts the whole year. So you might be right. Mara might be the reason why Eli's going to start the year and play for a while if they're doing pretty good. But just know I'd be shocked. If they have a winning record, I'd be shocked if Daniel Jones starts.
Me too, but I think that gives us the best chance to win. Because let's say, like Eli Manning and Peyton Manning, their rookie years were terrible. If Daniel Jones comes and has a bad year, you can't, no one could really jump to conclusions about it. I think you give him a year, you play more, and then next year, when you can have a better offensive line, like let's say if you get Larry Tunsil, I don't know if he's in free agency or I don't know what it is with him.
I think he is. I think he is. I think him and I think the other guy that I wanted. I can't remember his name at the top of my head. The guy from the Titans.
No, not Luan. Jack Conklin.
Conklin's a free agent as well. And I see ER said that Daniel Jones played the first-team Bengals defense. He probably did for at least part of the time he was out there, but the Bengals' first-team defense might as well be a second-team defense. It's probably the worst defense in football. But, Conklin, the Titans refused to pick up his player option. So, yeah, he's going to be available too. Because he's had injuries. He's had injuries.
Yeah, but he's an all-pro when he's on the field.
Oh, he's great. I would love for the Giants to get him next year.
Honestly, if all the things played out right, I wouldn't keep it I wouldn't say that getting rid of Nate Solder would be out the question. If something works out that we could get Tunsil and you can get Jack Conklin, I don't even think you could swing Nate Solder inside. I mean, I think you could trade him away for something like a third or a second.
I don't. How are you going to trade him away with the amount of money he makes? Who's taking on that salary?
I mean, the team that's desperate for a tackle. Right now, I mean, what I saw, it's a receiver and tackle that Houston wants. They'll take it. Houston could use a tackle bad. There'll be a team that needs a tackle. Houston, they want to protect Watson.
But but playing devil's advocate, if you're Houston, why not just wait? If they have that cap space to take on Solder, why not just wait until free agency?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I think Solder's going to be at least for one more year, and then his dead cap hit may not be that bad year 3 rather. I don't know the salary off the top of my head. I think he plays at least next year as well. Maybe the 4th year they'd be able to cut him. But hopefully Solder plays well. He played well the second half last year.
I think him and Will Hernandez are getting a good chemistry now. I think that the hardest thing, let's say if we did get somebody next year in free agency, would be him and Zeitler making a chemistry together on that right side. Because we saw for the first half, Will and Nate Solder, they weren't that great together.
Yeah, I think Remmers is a 1-year guy. I don't think he's back next year. But the right side's going to take some time. As good as Zeitler is, like you just said, the left side took a full half a season before they really had any mojo. So it's going to take some time for this to be a complete offensive line this year. But I think as this year wears along, they're going to get better and better.
Yeah, I don't doubt the I don't doubt us out from the playoffs, but it's highly unlikely. I don't think so. I think we're all getting ahead of ourselves. I think we're gonna have to go through one more miserable year. Not miserable, but we'll have like 6 wins.
No, I'm going to go 7 or 8 wins, but yes, I don't think we're a playoff team this year. When I say 10 wins, I mean everything breaks right. We don't have any injuries.
Yeah.
We all these question marks play good. Lorenzo Carter, all these guys play what we think they could do, and that's not realistic for the most part. I mean, how often does maybe not everybody, but a lot of these guys match what they potentially could be this year? That's asking a lot. But if it happened, it's possible. But
now, who do you think is going to get, because I think Jack Rabbit's off the team this year. I think Kareem Martin and Rhett Ellison are going to be off. I think for those other positions you could replace easily. But who do you think would replace the second cornerback position other than Baker? Would you think it'd be Ballantyne, or do you think it'd be Sam Beal?
Oh, that's a good one. Sam Beal's been banged up. He hasn't played at all. So, at this point, I got to go with Ballantyne right now.
Ballantyne's turning into a fan favorite. He's one of my favorite players on the team.
He's impossible not to root for. Impossible not to root for. And Julian Love hopefully gets better in the slot corner.
I think he's going to play free safety.
That's what it looks like, right? At least this year. That's what it looks like. Because we already, we got a pretty good guy there already. We'll see. I think Bethea gets cut next year. I could see Love being the starting safety next year, and Bethea gets cut.
Yeah, because I think Grant Haley, I don't think no one expected him to turn out to what he is right now. He's an undrafted kid at Penn State, and he's been pretty good in the slot.
Yeah, no, he was very good last year. But Sam, I'm going to let you go in case somebody else wants to call in because it's getting late. But thank you so much for the call. Thank you for being a great subscriber.
All right, have a good night.
You too, buddy. Sam always brings a good call. Always love talking to him. I know somebody else was trying to call in, so hopefully he's still here. Carlock's been good. Delano, Carlock has been every time Bad Dog and me do a game together, Carlock plays well. The first game against the Jets, he was phenomenal. Last night, he got a sack the second I came on. I think Carlock likes us together. Wait, who is on the call right now? That was Sam, Gabe. That was Sam. Somebody was trying to call in. Hopefully, I guess they're not here anymore. We'll see if we get another call. If not, we'll give it a couple minutes. We'll, call it an early night. That's all. Carl, yeah, he did. All right, there's a different number. Not the same number as before. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Hello? 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 3, 2, and 1. He's gone. So we got a call, but they didn't talk. They didn't talk. You better not split for. Yeah, exactly. We can't. Carlock will lead the league in sacks if he makes the team. AJ Marshall, that's a good question. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I'm rooting for him. Maybe in a special teams role. Maybe he makes the team. I'm rooting for him. You Giants are going to be good, but you'll still lose to the Eagles, Chip Kelly says. I hope not. I think we got Chris and Orr on the phone. What's going on, Chris?
Oh, yeah. You got Chris here on the line. What's up, man?
Well. What is going on, Mr. Sinor, fan favorite? What's up, buddy?
What's up, Gambino? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah. What's it called? I kind of I wanted to call in, but it's hard. It's always hard to call in the beginning of the conference. But I don't know who called in, but it was this dude talking about how it was. I think it was right after Bobby, and talking about how Dallas, that the Giants could stop Dallas. I think it came up over the really big game plan. It's kind of just if Zeke, it looks like Zeke isn't going to play. If you kind of just with the season like Bill Peppers, Valentine, if he comes in and a whole bunch of other players, Jenkins might be a factor. I think people are kind of sleeping on Jenkins a little bit. I think he can do good, but he's really gonna have to like go back to his like roots, like when he played for Florida. I believe for the Seminoles. I believe I'm not sure which college he went to, but I know it was in Florida. If he can become one of those speedy safeties and kind of like safety and stuff like that. I think he can really become like an X factor for the defense, besides X-Men, because X-Men is like, he was really underrated, but I think he's kind of getting slept on. But I think if you stop Dak from passing, like giving him like open targets, like if you put 2 men on Amari Cooper, it's obviously 10 men on the field because he's not going to throw into double coverage. Dak isn't ballsy like that. He's not like Ian Manning. He's not going to throw down the field with 2 people in double coverage. He doesn't want to take risks. He's a born quarterback. I don't like Rushy Dak. He's a born quarterback. I mean, I don't like to say that about a lot of quarterbacks because I like all 32 quarterbacks, but I don't like Dak. I think his play styles are really boring. I mean, he was good on his feet during 2016, but I just don't like him anymore. I think he's kind of gone overhyped. But if you stop the play action passes like that and you force them to run, you already have the game because they don't have a running back. Literally, I forgot who's their running back, but
the whole key to beating Dallas is simple. I mean, it's very hard to accomplish. You have to get Dak in 3rd and long. You have to get Dak in predictable passing situations because that takes away the play action. That lets your linebackers drop back in coverage. And Dak doesn't have the arm, in my opinion, to make tight window throws like a lot of other quarterbacks can. That's how you beat the Cowboys, but that's very hard to accomplish. Can the Giants do that? If Zeke doesn't play, they have a much better chance at accomplishing that. I'll say that. And with the front 3 that the Giants have, I think the Giants' front 3 is pretty damn good. It's young, but I think they have a lot of talent with Dexter Lawrence, B.J. Hill, and Dalvin Tomlinson. So we'll see. If Zeke doesn't play, I think it's going to be a very interesting game.
I think what you really have to do against Dallas is they have that dangerous, they have the dangerous defense. You really got to play it safe there. Eli Manning can't be throwing down the field like a chicken without a head, just throwing it down the field and then doing risky plays. I think you have to play it really safe against Dallas because they literally beat your offense. Like the chances of you getting a touchdown is like 0 to 500. It's impossible to score on Dallas. I mean, I'm kind of wrong on that because the last games that you played, I think the first week that you guys played them, I think you lost by like 6 points in week 2 last year, and then you lost by 1 point.
Yeah,
it's kind of possible, but either way, you have to play safe. I mean, you can't be risking
game against them last year, I think it was 6 points, but it wasn't nearly as close as the final score indicated. The Cowboys thoroughly dominated that game. The Giants got some garbage time points. Yeah. The whole key to me, and I've said it the whole show, you have to get out to the lead on Dallas because that's the team loves. They might be the best team in football when Zeke is playing with a lead. And they're not a good team at coming from behind. All you got to do is look at their numbers. They very rarely win when the other team leads at halftime or gets the first score. So Giants got to come out and punch them in the mouth. And if they do that, they force the Cowboys to be something they don't want to be, they have a chance.
That's really why they can't I don't want to say dominate, but that's why they can't compete in the last couple of minutes, like the fourth quarter. I think that's why they really had a playoff drought, is that they can't close games. They can't close games in the last quarter. That they just can't close games after they're like 3 points, 7 points. They kind of give up. They just let it go.
They closed games against us last year. I'll say that. They swept us last year.
It doesn't matter. I mean, look at the scoreboard. I mean, none of them, they dominated in week 2. But look at the last week. They barely. I mean, Saquon really. Saquon went Michael Jordan on the Dallas defense. The leap over the defensive line, stuff like that.
Yeah.
He went ham on them. But I mean, it's just, I think if you guys are able to beat that week 1. You guys have really big momentum in the AFC, or not AFC, NFC East. I think you guys can really go one-on-one with the Eagles. I think because the Eagles are nowhere near the level of the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys are probably like a top 5 team right now. Offense and defense and special teams and stuff like that. Overall they're a top 5 team. If you guys are able to beat the Dallas Cowboys by at least 7 points, I think you're able to. I don't want to say sweep, but you're able to compete for both the games against the Eagles and of course the Redskins. I mean, you can sweep the Redskins. They're a pretty weak team. But I think you guys have really good momentum if you win week 1.
If the Giants want any chance to make the playoffs this year, they have to sweep the Redskins. That they have to. And the same thing goes for the Redskins. If they want any chance at the playoffs this year, they have to sweep the Giants. But
neck and neck battle. I really like that. The Redskins versus Giants. Those are going to be fun games.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be tough to beat the Cowboys. I really do. Even without Zeke, we'll see. I think the Giants. I call it just a hunch. I think the Giants are gonna split with the Eagles this year. I really do. I don't think we're getting swept this year. The last 2 years we should have beaten them 3 out of the last 4 times we played them. The Giants have found ways to lose the game. And I really think the Giants are due for a split against the Eagles. I really believe that.
What if you can refresh my memory? That would help me a lot. Are the Eagles good at the end of the year, like closing out the year? Are they good? Because I know you guys play them twice in the end of the season.
Well, last year they won like 4 or 5 in a row to make the playoffs.
Yeah, then I can see them sweeping you. It's not out of the picture and stuff like that.
The Eagles have a very good team.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a good team. I mean, there's a lot of people that are overhyping them. Pro Football Focus, with the number one wide receiver core. There's other sleeper stuff on them. I think their running core is kind of getting slept on a little bit. I mean, not Jordan Howard, but I'm looking at Smallwood. I think he's gonna be a really good running back. But I think they're kind of getting overhyped in a lot of aspects. First Brunson saying that Jordan Howard was a top 5 running back, which is the most delusional take I've ever seen in my life. But I really like the Giants going this year. They're one of my I want to consider them as a sleeper team because I think it's that it's kind of like not delusional. It's kind of like just being a loon saying that they're a sleeper team because they're not there yet. But I think the Bills, the Jaguars, and possibly the Steelers are my sleeper teams. But I mean, you never know. I mean, it's like every Sunday. You never know where you're gonna get on the field. So I really like the Giants.
Football's a funny game. You never know how it's gonna play out. Every year there's teams that do better than people expect. Every year there's teams who do worse than people expect. And that's what I'm holding my hat on. That's what I'm trying to be optimistic, thinking that the Giants could surprise some people this year. And we're gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. But this guy's been calling me all night. I'm gonna take his call. Thank you so much for being a great subscriber, Sonora.
Yeah, keep it up, man. Keep it up.
All right, buddy. Thank you. All right, I've seen you've been calling me all night. I'm glad I got your call. Who is this?
This is Dave from Jersey City.
Dave from Jersey City. What's going on, Dave? How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. I'm a huge fan of your content, and I watch it every day. And I'm on a long drive home back from Buffalo for work, and I just think it's such an exciting time to be a Giants fan. And I love the way Gettleman's put the team together with this big assembly of all these young talent and promising young players. And I'm just excited to watch all of them on the field, growing and seeing who's going to emerge as a star. I think Dexter Lawrence is going to be awesome. I think they've been holding him back so that the other teams can't really see what he can really do. Mm-hmm. And he's it's going to be a monster.
Listen, man, first off, I want to say thank you for being a supporter of my channel. I appreciate that. I try to put out a video a day. I appreciate that very much. As far as Dexter Lawrence goes, I agree with you. I think he is the most pro-ready rookie on this football team. I think he's going to make an immediate impact. I think DeAndre Baker could struggle a little bit. Cornerbacks struggle in their rookie years a lot of times. I
the X-Man. I think the X-Man's going to, have a bigger impact than people realize. I'm just, we got to see if he can hold up against the run if teams try to run at him. But I think he's going to be, get a lot of sacks, more than people are expecting.
The X-Men's had 3 sacks in the preseason. He's looked really good. We'll see how much playing time he gets. I don't know if he's going to start, but he's definitely going to get situational. He'll come in 3rd and longs for sure. I think the X-Men could definitely get at least 5-6 sacks, at least. And I think Lorenzo Carter and Marcus Golden are going to get after the quarter. I think the pass rush this year will be better than last.
But like one of the things I'm really excited about seeing is like how the defense gels as a cohesive unit, and that's going to take, I think, a few games. Like you saw, like in the Jets games, like guys weren't on the same page, and they have to like communicate good and see what route concepts are going on and adjusting with each other and like it's going to be exciting to watch that develop like them as a cohesive defense, and then James Betcher can really be creative with the playbook, and that I can't wait to watch that.
Exactly. And let's go. I just want to say hello to Guillermo. Guillermo's a great subscriber, man. Thank you. Yes, I'm still gonna be. I'm gonna be on for about another 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm excited. I always liked James Betcher. I liked the hire. I didn't think that the Giants had the pieces in place. Obviously, when you switch systems and you have a lot of returning players, a lot of those players are not going to fit the system. So now the Giants brought in a lot of guys that they think fit the system, whether it be a Marcus Golden, whether it be the players they drafted, like a Dexter Lawrence. So I think this year, even though we may have lost some talent, whether it be a Landon Collins, whether it be, the Snacks Harrison, I think the defense will be a little bit better this year, and I think next year the defense could be really good. I love James Betcher's defense. You need the right personnel, though, because it's a blitz defense, and when you don't get home, they're going to pick you apart. So that's the thing. It's a heavy blitz defense. So I'm encouraged. I like James Betcher. I like the hire. I still do. I just don't think they had the personnel last year.
And I'm a huge fan of Pat Shurmur. Like I just love his demeanor, and I love watching him in the press conferences, like the faces he makes, and he's like answering these retarded questions, like all the press corps is asking him constantly. It's like hard to watch, like listening to all the sports writers asking him just nonsensical questions, and like every once in a while they ask him a good question, and he gives like a useful answer that's interesting. But I like when he's talking about he saw something the defense did and he drew up a play in the dirt. Like that's really exciting. I want to see that get fleshed out more on the field.
Listen, one thing I'm going to give Pat Shurmur a ton of credit for last year. I'm not even talking X's and O's. He had questions, he had some good moments, some bad. He handles the media great. And I thought the way he handled Odell Beckham last year was really good. Ben McAdoo never stood up to that guy, ever. He let him walk all over him. Pat Shurmur didn't. And I thought that was the sign of a good leader and a good coach. And I like Pat Shurmur. I do. He's still got a lot to prove. But I think he could be a good coach for this football team when they get good. I like Pat Shurmur a lot, actually.
Yeah, I don't think he gets like he gets almost disrespected when you see people ranking like the best coaches. They put him like near the bottom. Like people don't think he's gonna do anything impressive to stack up against some of the better coaches in the league. But I like the staff he's put together, and I like what the team's doing. Like I just love the culture they've built, and they got rid of people that are going to be distractions, and the way that everybody's all rowing in the same direction, and they're all excited about and encouraging each other, and they get really happy when their teammates are successful, and I just love that. I love the culture they built, and just the way he handles the team. I think he's a great coach.
I think he's a good fit for the team now, and I think we got to give him another year before we get judgmental. Same for Dave Gettleman. I say this from the beginning. You could disagree with the moves. People obviously, some people are not going to like the Odell Beckham trade. Some people are not going to like the Daniel Jones pick. I didn't on draft night. You're not always going to agree with what Dave Gettleman does, with what Pat Shurmur does, but you have to let the plan play out. And he came in here, Bad Dog and I say it all the time, he came in here, Gettleman, with 7 years of bad drafting. You can't expect him to fix it in 2 years. Rome wasn't built in a day. So far, you can say what you want about his free agent acquisitions. You can say what you want about some of the things he's done. In terms of drafting, he's done a hell of a job. I don't think anybody would argue that. Last year, he got 2 impact players on the defense in the 3rd round, B.J. Hill and Lorenzo Carter. Name the last time that Jerry Reese got any impact player in the 3rd round. You're going to have to go back a long time. Will Hernandez was a good pick in the 2nd round. Obviously, Barkley, we know what we got there. McIntosh still hasn't seen the field, but I think he's got talent too, the 5th round pick. And this year, I think he got a lot of guys in the draft that could be contributors. So, Gettleman's, you got to give him a couple more years. I think after next year, that's when you can start to judge Gettleman. If Daniel Jones does not look good after next year, that's when he's on the hot seat. So, but this year, I don't think anybody should be judging Pat or Gettleman on wins and losses.
You know, one thing I was hoping to get in the draft, and I wish that we had on the team, is like a second, like really good tight end that scares some defenses, because we're running all these 2 tight end sets, and people are going to be defending Evan Engram really hard. But if you had like 2 good tight ends and you run that 2 tight end offense, that would be awesome.
Yeah, they're going to use. I mean, the Pat Shurmur offense, they don't have another stud, like you said, but the Pat Shurmur offense calls for a lot of 2 tight end sets. You're going to see Ellison out there a lot with Evan Engram.
Go ahead.
I
was almost wanting like Hawkinson. Like, could you imagine like Evan Engram and Hawkinson on the same line, and what the creative things they could do against defenses and create mismatches? That would be nuts.
I tell you, I never even thought about that. That would have been that would have been interesting to have 2 that would have been like the Patriots had back in the day with Hernandez and Gronk. I think Hawkins is going to be great. I like Hawkinson a lot. Yeah, that's a good point you bring up. But I do expect Ellison was pretty good for us last year as that secondary tight end. He's a good blocker. But I expect to see a lot of 2 tight end sets this year out of the Giants offense, and I think Giants offense can be better than people think. The defense I worry about because they're young. But I think the Giants offense is going to be at least average this year. I really do. But
Thanks for taking my call. What's that?
No, I said anything else?
Well, I guess there's a few comments I have about different things. Like, when I'm watching the preseason games on NBC, I hate when they have that stupid sideline reporter, like, doing these, like, inane, like, player interviews while, like, Danny Dimes is throwing touchdown passes, and they got this idiot, like having this inane conversation with athletes on, like, go away. Like, I want to watch the game.
I'm with you
that's
on that.
one.
I'm with you on
and
that.
then that's one thing. And I know, I've heard you do this a lot, and like all the pundits do it, but it kind of irks me when like pundits are talking all about how good teams are going to be the coming year and which team's going to be better than who, and they try to predict like the record of each team and if they're going to be like, because if you listen, like everybody's saying, oh, this team's going to be better, that team's going to be better, like almost every team's going to be better except for maybe like 3 or 4 teams. And if you look historically, that never happens. There's always teams that people expect to be good, and they turn out bad. Like they just have a bad year.
I mean, it's fun to predict. I like to do it, but at the end of the day, football's unpredictable. And I always say that when I look at people's predictions and I see them pick the same 5 or 6 playoff teams from the year before, I already know they're wrong, because every year there's a bunch of surprise teams, and it's just not going to happen. It doesn't happen that way. There's going to be a team this year. I guarantee it. There will be a team this year that somebody thinks is going to win 4 or 5 games that will make the playoffs. And hopefully it's the Giants.
I'm on the same page as you. Absolutely.
It's going to happen. It happens every year. So, we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to let you go in case somebody else wants to call and it's getting late. Thank you so much for being a great subscriber, and get home safe, man.
All right, thanks a lot. Yeah, you have a good night. Thanks.
You got it, buddy. It is 1:47. Oh, we got a call as soon as he hung up. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's going on? It's Nations.
Nations, what is going on, man? How you been?
Yeah, I haven't called in a while. I've been pretty good though. But yeah, so I know this happened earlier in the stream. I meant to call in earlier, but I wasn't able to because I was running low on time. So I know you guys probably talked about this a ton, but I just wanted to give my take on like what we should be doing, week 1. And also some preseason thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so one of the unpopular opinions, I don't know how people feel about this, but I haven't really heard anybody talk about it. I think realistically, the key to the game to beat the Cowboys week 1, you don't know if Zeke is there. I think we could beat them even with Zeke, depending on what the game plan is, right? So we know that let's say Zeke doesn't start, because most likely Zeke is going to be still holding out during week 1. I don't see them getting a contract done by week 1. So let's say he holds out. Then, you have Dak Prescott, who who's been pretty. He's pretty average. I think it's safe to say he's an average quarterback. He can definitely get the job done with help. With a good offensive line and a decent running back.
For sure.
So what I think we should do, because I think we should utilize the offense. We're a clock management offense. We're gonna usually, as long as we can win time of possession, I think we could definitely win this game because we have a ton of rookies on defense. So all you have to do is take the pressure off of them, and the offense isn't going to be under that much pressure. I mean, the defense last year was as bad as it could be, and we still had, what was it, like 70 games that we lost under one possession.
At the end of the day, I say it all the time. Giants should have won 8 games last year. They should have won 8 games last year.
You have
you can say that about a lot of teams if we're being fair. But
that's true.
They should have won 8 games last year. The Panthers game, they should have definitely won. The Eagles game, they should have definitely won. The Cowboys game, the Colts game, they should have won at least 3 out of those 4 games. They should have been an 8-win team last year.
Yeah, because it was like we had like my bad. We have like a couple of games where we lost from like, I think it was one possession, and then where the defense was horrible. And this year it's obvious the defense couldn't get any worse. So then we had like, I think that one game versus Carolina where they played and they got that win off of that field goal that they definitely shouldn't have made because he missed an extra point later on in that season. So literally all we have to do is just keep the ball, not turn over the ball, keep the ball in the offense's hands for as long as possible, take pressure off of the young defense to try to help them, take pressure off of them, and they'll play way better. And I think really what we have to do is I think we have to balance it between blitzing and laying in coverage because we want them to, we don't want Dak, we don't want to give Dak all the time in the world. And if we send blitzes all the time, then Dak isn't going to have time to throw. And
listen, man,
Dak isn't going to have time to throw.
You hit it right on the head. And A.J. Marshall says we got to close out games better in 2019, and he's right. But the way that we close out games better in 2019 is exactly what Nation said. We have the offense that could be a ball control offense. The Giants have to win time of possession. Last year, time and time again, they lost the time of possession by 6-7 minutes, and at the end of the game, you saw it pay dividends for the opponent. You saw the big run by Adrian Peterson. You saw the big run by Alvin Kamara. There was another I think Fournette might have had a big run week 1. That's what happened. Every year, the Giants' defense broke down in the fourth quarter. And it was because we couldn't win the time of possession. And that is the key. The Giants' defense, even though it may not be great, if we are winning the time of possession by 4 or 5 minutes, it's going to look a lot better than it is. Because we're not going to be taking those body blows throughout the game. We're going to be rested throughout the game. And that's the key to this season. The improved offensive line, being able to run the ball with Saquon Barkley, hitting guys like Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard on short and intermediate routes, moving the change, and winning the time of possession. If we win the time of possession, we're going to be able to beat football teams, period. End of story.
And we're going to have a much better offense because, obviously everybody's going to know the scheme better since, last year it was the first year with their new head coach. We're going to know the scheme better. Like all the players will get used to it. Eli said he got more used to it. And really, I know everybody says Eli is bad, but whenever you give him an offensive line, he's actually able to be really good. And he's actually able to be above average and actually throw good passes. And I think really, the defense couldn't be any worse than it was last year. So, there were so many games that we could have won. But I think it was just a lack of a lack of experience because, we had that Eagles game where literally all we had to do was run the ball, and we would have won that game. But then we decided to go out and pass the ball way more than we needed to, didn't use Saquon. And really, I think all we have to do is send blitzes. Week 1, just send blitzes, put Dak under pressure, because he's not able to usually get the job done without Zeke. He's not as good as he is without Zeke, especially Tony Pollard. What is he? Is he a rookie or is he?
I think he's a rookie. I could be wrong. I think he's a rookie, but maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah. Because I think he's a rookie, too, so you want to put pressure on him because there's already going to be pressure on him because everybody in the Cowboys fan base are like, Tony Pollard's going to step up because Zeke is out, so Tony Pollard's going to step up. Really, if you send blitzes and you get Dak and Pollard disoriented, they're not going to be as, good as if you just lay back in coverage, especially, and you could afford to send blitzes. If you have, a offense that wins time of possession, then you could afford to send blitzes because you could rely on your offense.
Yeah, no, that's it. It makes your defense more unpredictable. It's football 101, but you know your stuff is is to get the defense into situations where you know what they're going to do, so they don't know what you're going to do. When a defense is constantly in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, they're going to run the ball on you. They're going to pound the ball up down your throat, especially with a strong offensive line like Dallas. The key to beating Dallas is getting them into those 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 situations, so they don't know. They have to pass, and they don't know if you're sending a blitz, and if they do, they don't know where it's coming from. So that's how the Giants have to. They got to win the time possession, and if they win the time possession, they have a chance in this game. They also need to get out to the early lead. That's what I've said all night. Especially against a team like the Cowboys, you have to force them to play the way they don't want to play, and the way they don't want to play is Dak throwing the football. You have to get them. Giants have to get out to the early lead in this game. If they do that, they can win the game. If the Cowboys get out to a 7 or 10 point lead, it's lights out.
Exactly, and it's not like we brought in these veteran linebackers for nothing. We got them in for experience. So use them to our advantage. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on was the quarterback thing. I know everybody. No, I don't. I'm kind of mixed because I would say to keep Alex Tanney over Lauletta, and I may seem crazy for that, right? And really, the only reason is because
experience.
What keeping Lauletta give us?
No, I that's why up until this last game, I would have agreed with you. Even though Lauletta was playing better, and I still may agree with you. Tanney, as much as he sucks, but at the end of the day, your third string quarterback is kind of almost an extension of the coach. So who has more experience in the league? Who's read playbooks more? It's Alex Tanney. Lauletta's a second-year quarterback. So who's going to be more valuable to Daniel Jones? That's really who you have to ask yourself. But as bad as he played, it's tough. I don't know. I think Lauletta's going to get it, but I think Tanney makes more sense. I agree with you. Being that he could be on the sideline teaching him things. They're in the game. He's almost like an extension of the quarterback coach or the head coach or whatever.
Yeah, especially since your third string quarterback usually isn't going to see the field. So I would rather have a veteran that's going to help out Daniel Jones, because think about it. You have two really good quarterbacks, or not two really good quarterbacks. You have a really good quarterback that won 2 Super Bowls, that has all the knowledge in the world. Then you have another veteran quarterback to help him out. Or would you rather have Kyle Lauletta, who is a promising quarterback that, is new to the league, that'll still be good, but I mean, when is he really going to see the field? When it matters. When is he really going to see the field?
He's not going to. I mean,
there's no point.
Yeah, that would mean Daniel Jones got hurt, Eli got hurt. He better not see the field.
Yeah, so I mean, I would much rather keep Tanney, because he'll definitely be able to benefit us a little bit more, in my opinion, because usually your third string quarterback isn't going to see the field. So as bad as he may be, he'll really help out Daniel Jones, I think, and that'll help us out more in the long run.
It's a great point you bring up, and that's exactly why in my 53-man roster video before the game last week, I predicted Tanney to make it for that exact reason. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. He just played so bad, and Lauletta played pretty good. So I don't know. Plus, Gettleman drafted Lauletta. You got to take that into account as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think Lauletta would get it. I don't think Tanney would get it though, just because Lauletta had a better preseason game.
Yeah, and he's a Gettleman guy. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. I'm just looking forward to Week 1 against Dallas, and hopefully we shock the world, man.
Yeah, hopefully.
But I always appreciate when you call in. Great subscriber of mine. Love talking to you. Extremely knowledgeable. And thank you for calling in, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
All right, Nations. Have a good night. I saw one guy was still trying to call in. I'll take that call, then we're going to call it a night. And I'm not taking second. It's way too late, Brandon. Not taking second-time callers. We'll let it. I don't remember if this was the number. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hi.
Hi. Who's this?
I have a question.
I think we're going to close the night out on a prank call, but go ahead.
No. I'm doing fantasy with my dad, and I need to know what players I should pick.
Hold on 1 second. I don't mean to interrupt you. Scott, I didn't even know you were in here, Scott. I will let you call in, Scott, because I haven't talked to you in forever. I will let you call in, Scott. Go ahead, buddy. What players do you what's the question?
What players should I pick in fantasy? Because I don't really know who to pick. I've had Saquon in mind, but that's really.
Well, Saquon, yeah, you'd have to have the first pick to get Saquon Barkley.
I just don't know who to pick. My dad keeps saying look up the top 100 fantasy players. So, like, I want to know if you can help me with this.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea where you're drafting, but I mean, in terms of Giants, Saquon Barkley, I like Evan Ingram, I like Sterling Shepard. I think they're all going to have good statistical years. So if you could draft them, if in the right spot, you should. Yeah, I'm not a huge fantasy guy, but I play it. Yeah, that's all I could tell you. I would need to know where you're drafting, where you are in the draft.
Okay, have a nice day.
All right, buddy, have a good one. I don't know if this is Scott. Is this Scott?
Chris.
What is going on, Scott? Long time no. You got the shotgun out?
No, man, the boss is around. I just want to say hi. Hello, brother. How are you?
I'm doing
Hello,
good.
chat.
I'm doing good, man. Scott, how you been, buddy?
I'm good. You know where I've been.
Yeah.
Hey, camel toes, brother.
Yeah, camel toes.
I'm good. Football's here, man, and I'm excited about my fantasy team. And really, Giants. I think you guys. I would look to. You guys are looking good. I mean, in your division, I would keep your chin up and go for it.
Hey, man, at the end of the day, I go into I don't care what the pundits say. I'm going to be as realistic as I can on YouTube because that, I don't want to lie to people about how I truly feel. But I go into every year optimistic because I know football, if things break right, things happen. So, we'll see. I mean, it's been encouraging so far. Daniel Jones looked great. I'm sure you've gotten to see some of the highlights.
I can't believe I have been on YouTube less than a year. My first live stream, okay, I'm from Rover Sports, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You did a collab with him, and my first game with you was the Chicago Bears game and the Giants.
Yeah, I got hammered that game.
Yeah, and I was hooked. And thank you very much. I tell everybody, 8 Camel Toes and all the TTC guy, whatever. Screw 'em. Anyway, I love you, and I can't believe it's been less than a year.
Yeah, man.
I can't believe the guys that have been on for 5 or 6 years. Like, how? Oh my God.
You've been a great supporter of mine, and I always appreciate it. Even when you're somewhere else, I know that you mean a lot to my channel. So,
thank you, brother.
I appreciate you, Scott.
Turn down for what? Remember the shotgun?
Oh my God, yeah. That was a classic.
But I did that again on Camel Toes in Sports Fury. Josh is on, and I shot it, and I said, turn out for what? So, like, if you hear that, you know who it is. And anyway, everybody listening, sub this guy up. He's the real fucking deal. And, Chris, you're one of my best friends ever, and I will never forget you, and I love you. So,
Scott, I really appreciate everything you do for my channel. Whenever you watch my videos, you call in. You always are a great mod. So I appreciate everything you do for my channel. I'm glad I got to talk to you.
I'm distant now, but it's because I'm
Scott,
busy.
man. Listen, man. Listen. I know you're always here for me, man.
You know that.
Yeah.
So anyway, good luck to your Giants. I drafted. I'm in a league with Cop Bizzle and Rover and those guys.
Oh, I didn't know
that. I was first, and I drafted Saquon Barkley. I mean, come on.
You got to take.
I mean, do you want a stud? Come on.
You got to take Barkley. If you got the first pick, you got to take Barkley.
What did he show us last year? I mean, he can run and catch the ball. I think it's gonna be insane.
He's gonna have an even better year.
Daniel Jones even more.
He's gonna have a better year this year because the Giants got a better offensive line. I think Barkley's gonna. I think Barkley will get at least 2,300 all-purpose yards this year. I think he's gonna have a monster year.
I think your Giants are gonna turn some heads this year.
From your lips to God's ears. And before I know you're a Cardinals fan. What do you think? I know Kyler Murray's kind of been up and down so far. What do you think of him?
I mean, we were last place last year. What kind of shit can I talk? I hang around TTC guys, and I mean, come on, so just wait and see. I give it 2 years, right? I think Daniel Jones will play mid-season. See, during the season, Daniel Jones won't play with the number ones. Only Eli will play with the number ones during practice, right?
Right.
So the bye week is critical. Bye week, if they decide to go with Jones, he'll play with the number ones, and I think that's when he'll come out. Just
That's a
my
great
opinion.
point. That's what I've been saying from the beginning. That's a great point you bring up. And the only thing that I worry about, and I agree, 2 weeks to prepare makes a huge difference for a rookie quarterback. But the team they're playing coming out of the bye is the Chicago Bears. So you are throwing him out to the best defense in football. That's what I would worry about. But at the end of the day, get his feet wet. See what he's got.
Yeah, because he can break his heart real quick.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. Look what Pat Mahomes is good. But I think, you know it. I think Daniel Jones, what a tremendous fucking preseason. Let's hand it to him. Despite the reactions, and I know the reactions from you and Bad Dog were all about, you liked Daniel Jones, you just didn't want him at
I didn't want him 6.
You wanted him in the 18th pick.
Yeah, I didn't want him where we took him. But at the end of the day, I always say it. He's a giant. I'm going to root for him, and I hope that I look like an idiot. You know, I'm a fan.
You got to be excited.
Hey, you know, I'm trying to temper just a little bit because it's preseason, but he's looked great.
Yeah, he got some game, man.
He's got
some game.
He's got some game is right, and I just hope, I can't wait, man. I can't wait for football to start. And Scott, man, I just want to say thank you so much for calling in. And
I love you so much. You're my. After Rover, I went to you, and I was addicted to YouTube. And look at me now. I almost have 200 subscribers. So, Scottzilla, please like and subscribe to Scottzilla,
go
please.
over there and check out Scottzilla. Scott, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for the call, buddy. I appreciate it.
I love you so much.
All right, my man.
Take care, buddy.
Have a good one, my man.
Bye-bye.
So that was Scottzilla. Scott always brings some entertainment to the call. He's that's a good way to close out the show. It's a good way to close out the show. He is a funny man. If you get an opportunity to go over there, you will get a good laugh. Nicky Savage says Saquon averaged 5.74 yards per carry against the stack box. Why do you think that was? Maybe defensive stack box is more when Odell went down and Saquon got better at the end of the year. Well, plus they just had a much better offensive line, Nicky. Jamon Brown was a huge step up from what they had over there. And the offensive line was just much better. The offense in general was much better in the second half. All right, guys, have a great night. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This went late. Always love doing these call-in shows. Love getting to talk to some of my best subscribers. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Have a good night.